Okay, so welcome to tonight's game. We're up to session number 27 of our Gen 3 2050 storyline for Shadowrun. And tonight we have online Jeremy.
Yes, good evening all. Desmond Deadshot, the street elf from the streets of Seattle, has always dreamed of becoming a member of the Ancient Star Gang, because hey, they're obviously the coolest elves in existence. He's been working his way up to it, and apparently he's closer than the information you've really got to. But he might get a bit sidetracked in his career plan or his life plans by the fact that he's found that he's actually got family, and they apparently might have influence in other places.
They may, and he's yet to find out. Also online we have Martin. Unless Martin's still on mute.
He's on mute.
Shall I go and then make you coffee?
Sure.
I am also an elf, Shadow Star, also known as Count Shadow. I make an attempt at being a Robin Hood in a Shadowrun world, and somewhat succeed at times. Hopefully, though, as I advance, I'll become a bit better at magic, and I might be able to pick a little bit more punch next time in a confrontation. That'll be me.
That'll be you. Then we'll move on to Ross.
Sorry,
Yes,
my best
I play Warp, follower of Thump in the BBC Pantheon. Basically, I'm the troll that they basically used for doing stupid things, like being a target for a mass murdering of prostitutes.
Yep.
Things like that. I'm also the group's healer.
Well, that all comes in handy.
Yep. Currently, I have got a new phone, and Blogger has got my old phone, which I hadn't worked out how to turn off the date app. The date app slapped me happy.
Slap me happy.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I'm sure it is the equivalent of Bite Me instead of Grindr or Tinder.
Bite Me, isn't that the one that Bolt be interested in?
Quite possibly. For all those into their metahuman needs.
Yep.
Now we'll check back on Martin to see if he's able to actually converse.
He's still on mute at the moment.
Yeah, I just sent him a message, so hopefully he'll actually pick that up. But I'm sure he'll get back to us when he figures that part out. So, when we last had our characters, hoping the grinding finishes soon.
I'm going to be scratching my head.
It's okay, we've got the coffee grinder going here at the moment.
Oh, right.
So when we last had our characters, they were waiting for an opportunity to get into the Cavallard Research Centre, waiting on some extra items to show up that they had been trying to get. I believe that there were quite a few things that were picked up last session. I was just looking at what I had written down for it. Because you got a bunch of stuff from Jimmy the Gunrunner,
We did.
Yeah.
which worked out to be 3 silenced pistols, 1 light machine gun, 5 stun grenades, 6 stun guns, a plasma cutter, 6 environmental hard suits, 3 lockpick sets, 2 electronic lock breakers, 1 disguise kit, 2 infiltrator goggles, 4 smart specs, 10 stims, 3 stings, 5 slap patches, 10 happy patches.
So can I just slow down? So it was 10, not a box of stings.
Yeah.
And then a box of 3 sting.
Yeah.
Is that 10 of those?
No, just 3 stings.
Just 3. Okay. Yep. And then 5
slap patches, 10 happy patches,
10. Yep.
1 laser scanner,
Yep.
1 handheld scanner,
Yep.
2 monoblades, 1 water knife, and 2 by climbing harnesses.
Yep. Awesome.
That was everything you
And
picked.
Yep.
That's where I got my mono blade from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I did tell you you should write down where you get it from.
I've got that.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was him or was from the Jack the Ripper.
And each character also got personally a 6 level 1, 4 level 1 IDs and 1 level 6 ID at the cost of 10k.
Yep.
Sorry, it was 1 level
6
level 6. I think.
and 4 level 1 IDs.
Yep, I got the level 1s. We figured.
Almost like a Shadowrun.
Jeremy, we figured if we sorted out the IDs while you were off, that would actually facilitate things later.
Provided by the Mafia.
Yeah.
They must be good then.
Well, you wouldn't really want to get it from the Yakuza right now. It wouldn't have a long life expectancy. And you had SoCal's managed to replace his damaged rig, considering he got it burnt out previously, and he has been digging what he can on Cavallard electronically without getting detected, as well as on the building in Redmond Barrens for similar reasons.
Yep.
And as such, I believe he actually had some information for you on the Redmond Barrens. So he got into the trying to get the name of the building, the Tiatsil building.
Yep.
Excuse me.
And breaking into that place, he did find that it had a secure server, which took him quite a few weeks to get through.
Understandably.
And he did manage to get a file on there. And I'm trying to figure out where that information is. Okay, so a dwarf working for the company had an unfortunate problem.
An exploitable problem.
So the dwarf is no longer a problem.
Right, okay.
So they'd found a potential hole in their security and eliminated it.
Before or afterwards, we were able to exploit the hole.
Before you found out about the hole, because you've been busy doing other things.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, there was supposed to be more to that. It's finding the right bits of information can be difficult sometimes.
I can understand that.
Okay, because you also got to take out the bits that if a person has been captured, you'll see details about them here.
Of course.
And that generally includes PCs being captured.
in this particular one, the only place the PCs got captured was by the Brotherhood.
Okay.
And as far as we know, that's not a bad thing yet.
So, the thing that he managed to find out about why Mercurial's wanted is she has in her headwear the location of where hazardous waste was buried in Seattle by Perfecto Plastics.
Do we know how she got that in her head?
She was working for them at the time.
Before she lost all her memory and got split personality and ended up working as a singer down in the dumps of Barrens.
That is correct. She used to work for Tex Machakax before she killed him and escaped.
That's right, because she was, Tex Machakax being an Icelander.
And he's the one who paid for all her cyberware.
Yeah.
So what happened with that is she has a sealed memory unit with the unlock code of Silver Virgin. Which basically has all the materials that Aztec had kept offline from the hiding of the wastes, and the waste is buried underneath the residential buildings of Redmond Barrens, which is why the New Horizons project was unable to continue its revamping of the Barrens because they were blocked by Aztec Corporation.
Because Aztec didn't want them uncovering the abandoned waste.
Well, they didn't want them digging up the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, Martin.
And
Woohoo!
So we'll get Martin to introduce himself.
Yes, I'm Rakesh. I've got a smuggler background. I got smuggled from Sri Lanka into Seattle, and I'm just hanging out with the guys.
Yep. And so did you hear what was happening there with the hazardous material?
No.
Okay. So
I was trying to fix this, and my daughter was trying to help me.
all my kids.
hey, kids are more likely to get it right than we are these days.
Yep.
So what you missed out on was that the whole reason that Maria was hunted by the Yakuza is she has in her head the location of a hazardous waste dump by Perfecto Plastics, a Aztechnology company that went bust and helped kill Redmond Barrens. What wasn't known by the population was underneath the housing of the Redmond Barrens is a toxic waste dump hidden somewhere.
So that explains the mutant rats.
It does. And the fact that they went out of business because it is hard to pay bribes off about actually doing things correctly when you run out of spaces to hide all the waste.
But they don't relate to the Universal Brotherhood because they're insect demons.
We don't know that.
Well, we don't know that yet, but the generic toxic waste monsters are totally unrelated. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. They're responsible for the rats of the unusual size.
Yeah.
But then again, magic coming back has caused so many different things that can you really blame it on the toxic dumping?
That's right. And let's face it, those rats of unusual size, they make wonderful burgers.
Are elementals a thing?
Elementals are a thing.
Okay, so that means that toxic elementals are a thing as well.
It is.
I did not want to run into one of those things.
That's where overcasting has a chance of that happening.
I was going to say, it's okay, they only come in pairs.
Yeah, because that means that the encounter's gone pear-shaped.
Indeed. I'm just trying to look back through my notes to see if I can find a talk about it. There's the other factor we're facing around the Taxito building, and I think it's actually the same building, is when we went to look at that, that's actually where the Dragon Knights and the Dragon are taken up residence, wasn't it?
And it's their personal files that SoCal had broken into.
Right, okay. And yeah, so the Dragon Knights are actually as Lanky based.
They are special forces of the Aslanti.
Right, yeah, okay.
Which wouldn't you want a dragon and some people with high-powered weapons on your side?
Yes. Or
I certainly wasn't on my side rather than going against them, which we're about to try and do apparently.
SoCal doesn't think you need to now go against them because the information is in Mercurial, not in the building.
Yes.
Now that he's got the unlock code to the memoryware.
Okay, so he's got the unlock code. So I have to say that wasn't when he tried to actually look at her previously, isn't that when he burnt out his old bridge?
He also had trouble with some other people online, such as the Yakuza.
Right.
So with that information, he says he might be able to get the bounty that the Yakuza have on you dropped.
nice.
Because releasing the information to the Yakuza will stop them hunting for Mercurial, because that's what they want, and embarrass the Aztec without actually publicly dropping it.
I was about to say, because we've got, so effectively we can, have we already got this information of where it's located, or we just,
You don't,
we can get access to it?
You have to convince Maria to allow you to get access to it, because he hasn't spoken to her about it yet, because of the implications that of where she came from and who she used to be.
Happy with that.
Okay,
Right.
so
And it does rely on access to her head.
It does rely on access to her head and her willingness for you to get the information.
Yeah.
Because she does have the ability to kill you if you trigger some failsafe.
Indeed.
So this is the information I need to get to rescue my sister.
No,
Okay, good.
not at all to do with that.
What is the information?
So how many information jobs have we got?
You had so in the end, all 4 of the jobs were information jobs, because information is the key to Shadowrun.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're not running information, you're not really Shadowrunning.
Yeah, you just don't.
And basically,
Hang on.
so no matter what you're trying to do, most of the stuff you're doing is gathering and distributing information.
Even if unless you're playing at, or you're actually working at, you don't realise that's Elson Scott.
So when you extract someone, you're generally getting someone for the information they hold.
Yep.
And when you're getting hardware or data, you're basically going for that information as well. Just that they make it sound like different things to you.
And obviously, yeah, as far as we knew when we took this particular job, yeah, we didn't know information was involved, because we were just a bodyguard moved with Maria for 5 days until her transfer management could go through smoothly.
And because of that, you've each had a 10.
That wasn't the actual.
And because of that, you've each had a 10k hit on you by the Yakuza since you fought the runners during her last gig.
Yeah.
My hands just.
So,
And then the shit hit the fan and then dragons got involved.
well, the dragons got involved when the dragon ate
Just
Max.
No, he didn't, he did. We just knocked him out of the sky.
Oh, yes. Max was on the way to the hospital, that's right, having been
Poisoned.
by a remote poison, probably of some sort.
Well, the dragon made a wish with the flying VTOL as if it was a wishbone.
Exactly.
Oh,
And
you got hazelnut.
Okay.
And then we were left trying to work out, hey, why the hell Dragon's going for him? Was it just coincidence or not? But
I'm sure it's completely unrelated whatsoever. It's Shadowrun after all. How could it possibly be a conspiracy theory?
I think he must have pissed the dragon off by keeping on saying, I'm right.
Am I right?
Am I right?
So the dragon said no.
And we also can introduce M in the background. Hello, M. Not sure. We can actually see M online, but can't actually hear her. So she may not actually have her voice running. So I'm just going to add her into actually here.
It's not listed as being on mute.
Yeah, but with all this technology stuff, I'm sure it has its interesting points. So I'll quickly send her a message. Because it might just be that she's plugged in a different headset.
Yeah, and Discord's done the typical automatically muting.
Or it's
Yeah, I just have one thing to put in, so it's not that hard, but it made it hard.
Yep. So I guess while we're waiting for M to activate,
Yep.
just so from Maria's perspective, we've got the information. Well, we know where the information is located, and we know what that information is going to contain.
You know some of what the information contains. You don't know what the rest of the information in her sealed memory unit is.
Yeah, good. But the question we've then got is, assuming we actually get access to all that information, obviously we can use part of it to buy off the Yakuza hit, but then what are they going to use it for as to why they want to get hold of it? And how much effect are we having with Ace Technology if we gain access to this information and or release access to this information?
Well,
ourselves.
while the information's in play, Maria's life's on the line.
Yep.
Once the information has been released, they're no longer targeting her because she's got nothing that can do any further damage.
Yeah, so the idea being that potentially we're going to be wanting to effectively disperse the information far and wide, or do we want to try and actually give it to specific people who are likely to pay more?
Well, if you give it to the Yakuza, you can get them to lift the bounty off you. So you're not going to be shot at on sight by certain people.
And that's certainly a good price.
So that's worth 10,000 a person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a bad payday for you guys.
Hang on, how many members of the party at the moment? I can actually have 50,000 and then let them know, and I take it off mine.
Well, you could almost retire on that for a year.
Indeed. But the other aspect is the Yakuza. Do we have an inkling as to exactly why the Yakuza really want it?
Because the New Horizon development is their front-facing organization that is supposed to be benevolent, and it's the one that's doing their housing projects in Redmond Barrens.
Yeah, and it got held up because the Ace Technology stopped them, and therefore, if they had the information, then they can either force Ace Technology to try and clean it up, or at the very least stop Ace Technology, do some private dealings with Ace Tech allow New Horizons to go ahead and keep letting people live on the toxic waste, so that's fine too, obviously.
You'd expect that if they got access to it, they would then be able to stop hemorrhaging money from a development project that's on standby.
Yeah, because obviously it's the fact that it's on standby. Ace Technology is forced to be on standby because they don't want the information, or they don't want Yakuza or the New Horizons to find the toxic waste. But if Yakuza go to Ace Technology and tell them, hey, you dumped all this stuff, we know exactly where it is, then obviously Ace Technology is no longer trying to actually stop them from finding it because they already know about it.
And potentially they could force Aztec to clean it up and side the land over to them. Either or will give them much in the way of benefits.
Whereas if we tried to give it directly to Ace Technology, that doesn't actually help our situation at all because the Yakuza will still just want to go for us. If we give it to both Ace Technology and Yakuza, that doesn't make any difference to us because Ace Technology, they already know all the information.
You would expect that if you gave it to As Technology would make sure you didn't tell anyone else.
Exactly. That'd be evidence of more people to know about their problem. So,
And as long as you haven't told the Yakuza, they'd want to make sure you can't tell them.
yes.
Yeah, so the Yakuza would be the safer option.
Which is a really interesting conversation to have, isn't it? The Yakuza are the safe people to go to on this one.
Well, because the other option would be we could give it to the Yakuza and also the public.
Wouldn't that make it the information worthless for the Yakuza?
Potentially, if it goes to the public, the Yakuza wouldn't be able to leverage off it and may not release your bounty.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But it would probably be considered the nice thing to do to stop the because if it goes public, then it forces someone to clean it up, whether it ends up being Ace Technology, whether it ends up being New Horizons. Someone's going to have to clean it up if anyone's going to be going back there to live.
hey, for all you know, you could have been living over it most of your life.
I'm pretty confident that Declan probably was. Which is part of the reason why he's vaguely thinking it should be made public, but he's also working on he's lived on the streets of Seattle too long and he knows that, hey, it wouldn't make any difference whatsoever. People would say, oh, you mean there's toxic waste in the barracks? And?
Considering some of the barons are known for their toxic lakes.
Well, that's right, the Blue Yellow Barrens is literally a barrens because it's toxic. Are we agreed then that if we can get hold of the information, if we can convince Maria to allow us to try and extract the data, at least the data about the toxic waste goes to the Yakuza?
Yep.
Are we happy that it doesn't go anywhere else?
SoCal is happy because it gives him a chance to make things right with the Yakuza, so they stop shooting at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the vicinity of anyone who the Yakuza's going to shoot at either. So, but in general, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it sounds good.
And I think it also can at least we'll still have knowledge and a copy of the data that if nothing does happen within the next 6, 12, 24 years, yes, we can still release the data to the public to say, hey, you might want to live there. Or hey, live there because hey, the rates are cheap and this is why.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it might help grow the magic mushrooms you need.
There's a mushroom in my bedroom.
So it might increase the rate of growth exponentially the closer you are to the radiation or waste.
Yeah, indeed.
and plus have extra capabilities that it wouldn't normally have.
And the other plus, of course, is it means we don't need to go near the dragon.
That is always a bonus. Because dragons generally don't play fair.
And then, of course, the question of, if we find anything else in her sealed data load.
Socal says...
Bring it back because I lost it. So.
It's okay. Socal says he could probably come up with a few different options depending on what he can find.
Yeah. And again, so that comes back to the next question to Socal is, assuming we have permission from Maria to attempt to open and access this box, this her memory cache, are you confident that you can get in based upon your previous attempt to experience?
He is, but he doesn't recommend trying it until after the Cavallard run, because it may leave half the party unable to act.
Yeah.
The Cavallard run might, you mean? Or?
No, the trying to break into a memory where if something goes wrong.
Oh, okay. You've seen the accident.
Yes, that there may be some triggers that the Aztec people didn't know about.
Yep.
You know, like a dead man switch sort of thing, or a personality hidden inside the memoryware.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it potentially appropriate and or safe to at least let Maria make Maria aware of the hidden data file? Is she aware of this hidden cache at the moment?
She's aware of the hidden vault, not what's inside it.
Right.
Plus, you don't want her to go wandering too far if she has a pang of conscience while we're out.
Yeah.
Because,
I mean, all we need to do is have SoCal on the other side of a big, thick pane of glass, and we're fine. Is that right?
he was hoping for a different building, if possible.
Yeah. How thick are we talking about here? 7 kilometres?
Like a foot thick.
Well, she shot someone through the wall last time she reacted without thinking.
Okay.
And that was while you were fighting the runners at her gig.
Yeah.
So she can actually see through walls.
Yes, it's certainly something that if we saw her actions that would put River from
Give River a run for her money from Serenity Firefly.
Yes. That's right, Firefly or something obvious. Yes. The sorts of things that would put River to shame. Yeah. Okay, well, and obviously, yes, if we do have everything together, having received the goods from Jimmy and sorted through that stuff, and we've got
SoCal has managed to line up tonight for your run on Cavallard, having gotten tickets to the other drivers for tonight and arranged you as backup drivers on their files, so you can actually just walk in and take the vehicle.
Yep.
Nice and easy.
He'd spent a week setting that one up.
Yep.
And he says he doesn't think he can get another one set up in the near future because of it's the only late night run he saw to Cavallard.
Well, definitely the timely opportunity right now then.
Which is also why, because he had also just finished the run on the Tiatsol building, having gotten that information and went, this sort of lines up with both of them. So he didn't want to miss the opportunity while it was there.
Yeah. Well, I think as we talked about that one, there was a team of 3 drivers.
There was a team of 3 drivers.
We've got any extras to be in the environmental toxic waste barrel that we can trundle into the centre.
Though he does recommend that only 3 people enter the building and the others basically jump on while the vehicle's moving. Because the vehicle is automated.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, sorry, yes. You mean enter the collect vehicle?
Yeah, so 3 people go in and collect the vehicle, and then once the vehicle's been collected, it's going to run on automation because it's GPS locked.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was more thinking about when we get to the Capital Centre, we carry in more people, having them stuck inside apparent barrels labelled toxic waste.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you already have some barrels set up on with one of your vans.
Yep.
So you can do the whole transfer while it's driving thing.
That's the plan. So how many people have we actually got available tonight to do this?
So you've got Flogger, who will be one of the ones who leaves. It doesn't stay behind. And you probably got a few others as well.
Then there's me, there'll be Emmy, Womp, and Rakesh.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That is correct, and you'll also have SoCal available because he doesn't recommend trying to remote into this place because the effort of getting the non-technical people to connect a technical network would most likely trip all the alarms.
We're also supposed to be finding a specific server to hack into.
You are, one that's offline, which is why he says for him to connect to it remotely, you have to bring it online. And if you do that, you'll probably trip all the alarms of the building.
Which is not what we want to do.
And
He doesn't trust Declan's ability to insert the appropriate USB device.
I don't think he trusts the entire party. I think on average we have an intelligence of 2.
No. I think the average might be 2 if you include SoCal.
it is 2 if you include SoCal. Otherwise, the average is about 1.5.
Exactly.
I'm a little bit higher than everyone else.
Yeah, okay.
Desert might be 2.
So if SoCal's not on the run, then Shadowstar equals all the other intelligences put together. So Shadowstar is highly intelligent compared to the rest of the crew.
Do we have Ariadna?
You do have Ariadna tonight.
She's just fidgeting in the kitchen. Just,
I see her in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I see the reflections.
my
So-
pain's pretty bad in my legs today, so it's hard to sit still when it's like that.
So now that puppy's been sorted out, would you like to introduce yourself, Em?
I've just been sitting here quiet for a few minutes, just
Listening?
listening. Yeah. I play.
It's Puppy!
It is indeed the puppy, and I was sorting out my puppy, and surprisingly, Mia fell asleep at like 7:30, so I'm actually on at a decent time.
Okay, noodling Puppy.
Miracles can happen.
Puppy.
I'm getting apparently. Can I bite his handle? Please, can I bite his handle?
Well, it is a big troll hand. It might take you a while. Chew toy.
Delicious. Nom.
Tastes like Georgie. So, you've been given the green light to go for the run tonight. Is there anything you guys want to set up before you go? And Ross, your magical gear has showed up.
Oh. Cool. And not so cool. Oh. Wouldn't they get a bit suspicious seeing a pole with a staff coming in?
Quite possibly. I didn't say it was advantageous for the run. It just showed up because it's been time.
The only thing that would be advantageous would be my holy item replacement. Actually, no, it's not a staff. It's a bloody scepter. That's right.
It's not really.
Yeah, I've got a holy item, a scepter, to replace to be my new Eki top.
Right, okay.
Because then I can use it as hand-to-hand combat properly.
Until it snaps. And you
Don't jinx me.
No, none of your jinxy.
And I also figured that, so we've got the 3 people who are going to go in and collect the vehicle.
Yep.
From the courier,
So, Bolt has to go in.
So, how long is that going to be? So I have to go and pick up my magical stuff. Does that mean that the Count's magical items have arrived as well?
that would mean that they've arrived as well, yes. They arrived during the fortnight.
Cool.
You've already got them, you don't need to go pick them up.
Of the people who have to
Oh,
go
even
in,
better.
Bolt
So,
and
like
I think
it's-
Desmond.
Effectively arrived during downtime.
It's harder to hear you over there.
Sorry.
The people who have to go in and collect the vehicle does not include Bolt. She doesn't have to be
in the building.
into the building. Yes.
Into Cavallard.
So you need at least Bolt and SoCal. Everyone else is cover
Right.
and protection.
So for that
That's
third
Bolt, the
person,
one who kind of knows where everything is, sort of, I think. Is
and
that right?
and a few things are locked out to Bolt's genetic prints.
but we
Yeah,
also need
that's
someone
fine.
who can handle Bolt in case she gets PTSD triggered. Because I was told a long time ago that could be a thing.
Yeah, so the when we were discussing the potential plans, we managed to get the Coco managed to have the maps of the Cavallard facility.
He did, so you have access to the 3 levels of the place besides the exterior.
Yep. And yeah, we worked out that the security staff would be, because we're coming in with a standard transport of toxic waste, they will quite happily, or they're very likely, to allow 3 people from the truck to actually enter the building, transporting the tubs.
I thought they'd only allow the 3 drivers in, and then they're supposed to unload the barrels. And of those barrels, we have 3 of our members hidden, so we've got 3 empty barrels.
Well,
And
that
we've
was
got
part of
some
the
legit.
process, but also thinking about, I remember there was some discussion about if we have 3 people enter, it's appropriate to have 3 people leaving or moving
Yeah.
around the building because they've got the
Yeah.
facility, the SoCal can actually get in and
So the 3
capture
people
the
in the truck
cameras.
are supposed to get back in the truck.
Yes.
So 3 of us
Oh, that's right, and the rest of us were going to actually
hide in the
escape
barrels.
tunnel to the north of
Yep.
the building
Yep.
on level 1.
Yeah.
So you've got Flogger and Georgie at least.
Flogger and Georgie in the front seat. I'm happy to accompany Flogger and Georgie in the front seat if Womp, Desrin, Rakesh and Bolt want to go into the Cavallard building. And that way I can be back up on the outside.
I'm not particularly stealthy.
I'm sorry, I'm not certain why we want 3 people, are you suggesting that you've got Georgie, Flogger and Shadowstar as the drivers of the truck?
Yes, because there's expected to be 3 people in the truck, and those
Yeah,
3
but the-
people need
But then they're
to,
expecting 3 people to go into the building.
at least 3 people to go into the building.
Well, not at least. They only expect 3 people to go into the building.
Oh, no,
Well,
but we've
no
got,
more than 3, but
but we've
that's
got-
that 3.
that's why we've got you guys hiding in barrels.
Yes.
Because we will load you into the building in the barrels. So we can have 50 people go in as long as unloading 50 barrels is okay. So if the rest of the party, so if you, Womp, Rakesh and Bolt are all in barrels, Georgie, Flogger and I will unload you into the building. We'll get back in the van and drive away, and then you guys will finish the job.
The assumption
and
is
I'll be
that
back up.
Womp and Flogger would both be carrying people in the barrels because you wouldn't fit the troll in the barrel.
Okay.
No, they could fit me in, but I wouldn't like it due to the fact that I'll be cut into little pieces.
Yeah, look, my brain's just
All
trying
good.
to get around.
Oh, okay. So the intent though is the fact that yes, the 3 people in the truck
Yeah.
are going to be leaving
Yes.
before we necessarily finish the run.
Yes.
The idea is that they're supposed to make it look as if no one's broken into the place.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So oh, sorry.
because you've also been told that you've got a frequency that will make the cameras flip Fritz, the 3 that go in don't necessarily have to be the 3 that go out.
Yeah.
And you don't actually need 3 to go out as long as 3 are seen going in.
Yeah.
And that's part of the thought process. Jason was the idea. I don't know that we necessarily want Flogger and Georgie as the face of the initial part of the run.
Well, that's why I was going to be up the front in the van, and we'll hide the rest of you guys in the back. But I think Womp does have some face skills now. So
Yeah, I'm a better charmer than the elf.
yeah, so Womp could definitely be the face with Georgie and Flogger, and that way. So what Martin said is technically we can all do the run together, as long as Georgie and Flogger get into the van and drive it off the grounds. It shouldn't be too noticeable that it's down one person. We'll assume that one person might be in the back of the van somewhere. So Martin's allowing all of us to go on the run together.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that works from a gaming perspective.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm just thinking, yeah. And obviously I can see that Womp and Flogger would have more difficulty fitting in the barrels, especially ones that they've got to try and carry or transport down.
To be honest, I keep forgetting that Womp is a troll. And of course,
That's
he'd
right.
have a harder time fitting in the barrel. So, yeah.
And also, of course, there's the fact that Desmond's not really keen on going in a barrel because, hey, that looks dirty.
Kind of, unfortunately.
We'll clean the barrel out for you.
Yeah.
And we'll put in some perfume for your smelly elf.
No, but the other thing for Desmond is the idea of, no, I've got to drive.
Okay, we can spray some WD-40 so you can have your mechanical smell, so it reminds you of your motorcycle.
No, that's right. Yeah, I'm happy that it works particularly from a gaming perspective at the moment.
Yeah.
Desrin and Shadowstar have also been given little remote control drones from SoCal. The idea is that you've got to send them down the corridors before you go down,
Okay.
because that will make the cameras short out
Yeah.
while they're in range of the cameras.
Oh,
Okay.
Cool.
so, they are actually bugs.
I don't have my phone, so I don't know what the date
All bug zappers.
No,
No, you don't want to run into the bug zappers because that reminds me of, Resident Evil with their anti-people zappers.
He's got upside for bugs.
don't worry. It only cubes people.
Slice and dice, yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we're probably as ready as we're going to be, because that means, yeah, so, Shadowstar, Womp and Flogger are going to be the transport crew, with obviously, or the appearance sake of Womp and Flogger are the muscle designed to help carry all bits and pieces, and Shadowstar is going to be the supervisor for the muscle.
Yep.
And that then also leaves Desmond available to be driving his van with the extra tanks available to help try and
So are there two vans or?
transfer in motion.
They can't load the truck while it's in the storage bay
Right.
because that's
Oh, so Desmond's going to follow us and
transfer while it's driving because the truck is GPS aligned.
Yep. Okay. Yep. No, I understand now. Thank you. Sorry,
So
my
that-
brain just.
So that way the security systems say it's always gone where it's going. He can override the fact that doors have opened, but he can't really change the GPS but without sending up too many queries.
Sorry, my computer's just screaming at me.
How many barrels we have to transfer? How many people we got to transfer then?
You've got at least
Technically, just our crew, really.
Yeah, but so
five barrels.
The remainder of the barrels we're transferring are SoCal,
Bolt, Rakesh, Desren.
and there'll have to be an empty barrel for Desmond to jump into after it's transferred across.
Well, you expect all the barrels to be empty and you're getting them in the back of the truck.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So yeah, basically, so if we've got three extra barrels to get it across, is that all?
You probably have a couple more for gear. So you're not trying to squeeze gear in with you.
Yeah, happy with that. Do we have any idea of how big the actual load is initially?
The load is technically empty because SoCal has tinkered with things, which is why tonight was optimal. But they're expecting 10 barrels.
Okay,
So you had room to move.
Sounds good.
Worst case, if the truck is full, you could always push barrels out.
Sounds like a plan.
Hang on, we'll just log into Maria's location and find out where to push them best, where the best place to push them is.
Yeah.
You don't want to add to the toxic waste piles.
No,
Or splinter, I should say.
not at all.
A little bit of extra hazardous waste here and there, that's not going to hurt anyone, I'm
He's
sure.
gonna notice, yeah. Alright.
That's why I jokingly said it that way. So he did say it took him quite a while to line it all up for you, which is why so many weeks have passed.
You've done a great job.
So that's why it's the 23rd of the 3rd month, 23rd of March at the timeline.
Does he deserve a bonus? Like,
He says yes, he does. He says
yeah, absolutely, he deserves a bonus.
Well, and to be fair, it's not like we've been disappointed of having to stay bodyguarding Maria in her penthouse apartment all this time.
No, it's not like it's been hard.
like 20% or what?
well, he gets paid as much as you guys get paid when you complete the run.
Yeah.
So you're not actually diverting any of your funds to him. He just wants the run to succeed, which is why he's coming in person, because he doesn't believe he can handle it without him this time.
Okay.
Which kind of
He does have a point.
I was going to say, kind of says something, because normally he's more than happy to take a back seat.
Well, he doesn't like going in person because he's fragile and he gets hurt when shot.
Yeah, so do all of us, but
Yeah, he doesn't.
absolutely
But,
get
his point was he doesn't get hurt when you get shot.
No.
How much cybernetics has he got?
He doesn't have any.
Just occurred to me.
That you can see.
Would it be better for him to be driving the truck? Because that way he doesn't have to risk trying to transfer from a moving van into the truck.
Possibly.
That is,
What's his
while he's
charisma like?
excellent in the net, in his capabilities to walk in a straight line can be challenged.
Well, technically, Georgie is human, so he could do a transfer. I don't mind getting in a barrel and having Womp be the face. As we said, he's more charming than I am.
So what Jeremy's getting at is only 3 people need to go into the building to get the vehicle.
Right.
And he's recommending that SoCal be one of those because SoCal is clumsy and not very dexterous.
Yeah. No, that sounds...
And then he gets into a barrel when other people jump across, so that then he's less at risk.
I'm happy to give up my place.
Because I'm sure you wouldn't want the one person who can hack into the systems to go under the wheels of the truck.
Yeah.
So Rakesh, this was a place in the driver's seat of the truck initially, so yeah. That's how he's already in the truck and doesn't need to transfer from a moving van into a moving truck. Yeah. So basically a case of it. Like it would probably be best if we replaced his Georgie in that sense. Although because we had Womp and Flogger and Shadowstar initially.
Yep.
So therefore I would suggest we make it Womp and Flogger and SoCal and collect the vehicle, the truck. And
SoCal just thinks that's a smart idea because he was wondering how you were going to override the alert.
Mm-hmm. And then once we all get into the truck after transferring from the van, then we can think about exactly who's actually going to go through be the face.
Yep.
In that kind of sense.
I vote Womp.
Because yes, I mean, it could have just Womp and Flogger still don't fit in now, so they've got to be there kind of. Yeah.
And plus, being trolls, they can carry the barrels quite easily.
Yeah.
The only other question then is, can we get a van that can carry the barrels and people that we don't care about losing? Because otherwise it might be challenging, unless we have someone who's going to stay in the van and drive the van, which certainly could be valuable to be going around to pick up the people who have to run.
There's no reason that couldn't be, say, Georgie or Flogger.
And there's
Georgie, probably.
So there's also the fact that Cavalad Research Center is in downtown Seattle, meaning it's on the grid.
Yeah.
That you can actually program the van to go to a designated spot and wait.
Yeah.
And keep itself locked.
Why don't we do that?
So if you need to escape, you can either call your van or just go to where you parked it.
Yeah.
And if someone has a passcode, or just if someone has a passcode in order to get access to the van.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, like in that sense, yeah, it's perfect. Declan's got a van that is perfect for the job anyway. And he just didn't want to actually destroy his van by having to transfer the last person across and then leap from the driver's side window into the truck.
That's the benefit of having it on the grid.
Indeed.
The power of the grid is amazing.
With all the forest around the centre, I was thinking, oh yeah, must be a way.
It is Richburg of downtown that they're so rich they can afford to have a forest around their building.
Yeah, I think we're okay leaving the van here.
Is there any limitation on explosions and such?
You've been asked to make it. You've been asked to make it subtle, and if you make it subtle, you earn 30% more than you would normally.
Because the whole point is
that's good.
Yeah, we're trying to make it look like they haven't been hit at all.
Okay.
And does M have any suggestions?
Bolt will try and be quiet. Bolt's not really quiet. Bolt, Speedy, Bolt good at running.
Does money help remind Bolt? Sorry. I was going to say, does money help remind you to be quiet?
Also remind Bolt to
See
stay
Bolt
behind
run.
Remind Bolt to not run ahead of the drones
Yeah.
when we get inside.
Yeah,
Do
that's
not-
what I was going to say. Bolt can't run today, Bolt's sad.
Yeah. Do not chase the drones.
Do not chase him by the drones. No, it's just a long list of stuff that Bolt can't do. Don't chase the drones, don't go ahead of the party, don't make lots of noise, don't chew the cables, don't chew through the barrel.
Stop biting your team members.
Yeah, stop biting the team members.
You know, if Bolt's getting confused, we can scrap all the rules and say, Bolt stay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's probably the safest option.
Except that we need Bolt there.
Then you'll be like Bolt heal.
I think we've got it as much under control as we need to at the moment, because obviously as soon as it starts, everything will go wrong, so we'll have to make it up from there.
That's how it normally happens. Any plan is perfect until you start trying to follow it.
Okay.
Until Bolt actually is, needs to do something, then everything's gonna go to shit.
Okay, the Captain Cold theory is organising the heist.
Mm-hmm.
Make the plan, execute the plan, throw away the plan as soon as you start, and go on. Break up.
So you head out to the I can't remember what the place was called that you were going to. Not the research centre.
The Cavalite Centre, or no, the Cavalite where we're getting to originally, but we're going to pick up the transport van first.
Yep. That's where I have to look into the notes that I had there and go, which one was it? What was the name of it? Okay, so you go to the transport company. Transport company we named earlier that I can't remember the name of right now, but I'm sure it's important.
Hey, are you sure it's not called the transport company?
I'm sure that's part of the name, but not the whole name.
It's,
There's nothing wrong with PTC.
yeah. No, it's TTC.
Exactly.
I was just thinking if I had it written down quickly.
Okay.
No, I didn't have it written down quickly.
We'll stick with calling it TTC.
Okay. So thanks to the setup for that. And SoCal being the one who's unlocking the doors using his little tools. He keeps having to tell Flogger no. Down, sit, stay, stop. No, oh my god, what are you trying to do now? No, the door's not for you. You're hearing this constant chatter over the comms as he's talking Flogger down from damaging absolutely everything on the way in.
I thought we got it on a Muslim.
Hang on, no, because
Flogger likes to collect doors.
I'm talking Flogger down, not talking Bolt down.
Yeah, because he's going in with Womp and Flogger's seen lots of new doors.
Yeah. So, that's part of your job there, what? Controlling Flogger.
Yeah, I opened the doors for him because he hasn't understood the concept yet.
No, this is simply the transport to get from our base to TTC to go and pick up the truck.
Yeah.
And Flogger keeps getting phone calls. And Flogger's quite happy to talk to these people who keep wanting stuff from him. They're trying to order different things from him, and he seems very confused.
Can you put it on silent?
Flogger's unable to put it on silent because that would require him being able to push the turn on silent button.
He'll crash the phone if you want to put it on silent.
At which point you will no longer have comms with Flogger.
Okay.
Can't see the downside.
Yeah?
I'm going to buff myself.
You're going to buff yourself?
Yep. With divine healing.
Okay, so how many dice is that for you?
3 yellow.
And anything else?
No.
And
Wait a sec.
what's the
Actually,
difficulty?
yeah, it was. I have to look at the my new holy thing.
And what about and what's the difficulty
that's-
dice?
Oh no, it doesn't give the difficulty. I think it was 2. Magic. I really need to print this out. Augment. Yeah, it's an average.
So average is 2.
Yeah, I get the divine one free because I'm using my holy item. And with the... Okay, so this is a U holy item. With the benefit of U, do I get the strain back from using it?
No, it's
Or is it previous strain?
the strain comes back before you use it.
You could never get strain.
Oh no! It's just that basically I need to successfully cast it to get the strain back.
If you successfully cast it, you then get a strain back, not from the spell that you just cast. Actually, I'd probably say it actually makes for the U is the benefit of the U. It actually makes it easier.
Yeah,
So you
that's
take
what-
1 strain instead of 2 if you successfully cast it.
Yeah.
So, and you did successfully cast it with 1 success and 2 advantages.
I really need to work out how to use advantages with these things. That's
That-
why I'm going to be going to school.
That is fairly simple because casting a spell has with advantages doesn't give you anything special unless you've actually got upgrades. So all the upgrades are used in the actual spells itself for advantages.
Increases target's wound threshold by my magic rating.
Additional targets is one of the ways of doing it.
Yeah, but I do want to use additional targets because I've increased the difficulty.
It does, but that's one of the few things that uses advantages in Augment.
Okay.
So all the advantage bonuses are in the spell options, not in any other way for that, unless you just do the basic stuff.
Okay, yeah, advantage.
So you augment yourself.
Yeah. What was that cyber guy again?
SoCal?
You mean SoCal? Or you
Soka. So how much cybernetics does he actually have?
No.
'Cause I was thinking of augmenting him as well.
You're not
Make him a
quite
little bit-
sure. It doesn't look as if he's got cybernetics. If he does, if they does, they're hidden in such a way to be subtle and not obvious.
Okay.
He could have quite a lot.
Would you like me to augment yourself to make you a little bit tougher, stronger, faster, smarter?
He just looks at you. Is that magic crap again? He says.
No, it's divine crap.
So you're going to pray at me and pray the technology away, that sort of thing. He says with
No, and praying that your soul will become strengthened and more intellect and other stuff, and boost your body so you take less damage, and you become a little bit healthier.
Shadow nudges SoCal and says, it's not going to do an arm.
he shrugs and goes, "Okay."
Okay. Let's see if I explode by trying to cast it on him.
Okay.
So that'll be 3 yellow, 1 green.
One green.
And it'll still be an average of 2 because I'm not going to go for additional people.
You're going for additional people on this one.
Because I don't know if he's got cybernetics. I suspect he's got at least some cybernetics.
Well, I suspect you've at least seen him put a skill a data tag.
Yeah, I start to worry if he's starts rolling 8 black dice.
Oh, there are 5 black dice.
Was it 5? Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I'm also, because with Augment, I'm supposed to roll my magic dice. Is that correct?
That's only if you exceed the number of sustained
Oh,
spells,
yeah,
and that's if you choose to overcast. Otherwise,
No, I don't want to pour in extra magic in there because I'll probably end up blowing up.
okay.
Possibly you could use one of the two advantages, or both advantages in the other one, to give you a blue dice on your next action. I don't know if that can allow or not, or it could have been done next, or...
So you ended up with 3 successes on that roll.
Okay. Cool.
That sounds pretty good.
So you've augmented yourself and SoCal.
Yep.
So now he can actually keep up with most of you.
Yeah, okay. He'll be... as he always average now.
Yeah, he's twice as fast as he was. And so, go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay, but also it'll only help him override any security systems once we get in there too. So.
And he seems to talk a lot faster now. And you thought you had trouble understanding him previously.
Yep. He's talking faster and using even longer words.
So yes, you get in and you get the truck without any issues. And SoCal says he's overridden the door sensors, so you can open the doors while you're at lights and in transit, so you can move between them. But he can't stop the movement without tripping up other inbuilt warnings.
No, I can't then.
Is expected to be at certain places, so he does warn Desrin that Desrin needs to be off the grid while he's doing the maneuvers.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Because if he's on the grid and he's that close, he will basically cause other problems.
Well, I mean, it's also the fact that if he's consider the sort of maneuvers that Desmond's thinking of, it's the fact that he's planning on trying to actually keep up with the back of the truck, reversing the van, so therefore you can transfer across more easily.
And as far as the other vehicles on the road, they will think your van is an empty space and try to move into it constantly.
Yep.
That's the side effect of being off the grid.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, come on, Desmond can handle it.
He can. So,
Trust me.
which then brings us to Desrin's driving test while you're all in the laden van.
Okay, he's got 5 dice, 2. So he's got 5 dice, 2 yellows. Try and do the appropriate maneuvers to A, avoid the traffic, and B, get the van close enough to make the transfer of barrels and people more easy.
So I'm making it a difficult roll with 3 setback dice due to environment.
Mm-hmm.
That represents the difficulty of trying to maneuver with people who don't know you're there.
Yep.
Maybe I should have passed boosted you as well. Oh well.
And what was that?
So the question I've got though is that, are there things that others can do to make things simpler?
I was going to say, is anyone able to assist you, or is that not that kind of thing?
I mean, because I would think there are certainly things that can be done to assist, like as in providing additional eyes on all sides of the van type stuff to look out for what's coming. I suppose, yes. How good they are and how good their athletic or coordination is to actually do the transfer of the barrels and things like that. But that's probably a separate thing, really.
I'll add a blue dice for them actually giving you some support.
Okay. I'm sure it'll make all the difference.
Well, it did come up for success. So the fact the blue dice had a success was not bad for you.
It's a bonus.
as I'm removing all the bad dice. So that.
Not that I might have that, but just confirming you're not rolling in the dice pad in the camera.
Okay, so the camera.
Not working.
That camera has decided not to work again.
Yeah. If I mentioned it, oh well.
There we go. There's your results. There are dice there. So unless you guys tell me the camera's not working, I don't notice.
I know they're quite well again. It was quite happy.
Hey, look, magic dice.
Nice appear. What a trick.
Let's see. So yeah, other camera's still working, so that's good. So yes, you managed to succeed outrageously with 3 net successes and 1 threat.
The threat. I don't know if we get a decision on what that might be, but
So you can make your choices on the equivalent of suffer 1 strain, gets distracted or sidetracked. Such
that would be a bad option right now.
Such as being unable to spend an activity on their next turn.
Gee, how much
I
strain do you
think-
have? Just one
Suffering strain is probably not unreasonable because even Desmond might have sweat a little bit during that maneuver.
So yes, you're now driving backwards following the truck.
Yep.
Driving backwards. So.
Well, okay, so now the door goes straight open, and hey, I don't want to make it hard for you guys to get to the take first, so...
He's showing off.
No, I'll make it easier. So now you guys have probably got extra dice or bonus dice on your transfer of the barrels and people there, see?
And
if I just did it side to side, then it would be much harder for you to actually do the transfer.
And when the truck comes to a set of lights to stop, you're able to transfer most of the stuff while it stopped.
Ah, way too easy.
Hey, back to back is the best time to do it when it stopped.
I was going to say,
Absolutely.
are you just being kind to us? Or?
I know he rolled so well. I gave him a good outcome
That is awesome, actually.
because he took the strain instead of having something bad happen, such as noticing that the truck has hit its brakes.
Well, it was the sort of thing I was expecting. It was the idea of, oh yeah, well, okay. Getting a bit of a scrape when one of the other vehicles, one of the other cars decides to move into the space, but okay, I'm happy to not damage the vehicle.
I was expecting that on a 2 or 3 threats, not on a 1 threat.
Happy with that.
So yes, you've transferred everything across in the light stop because hey, lights do stop for about 5 minutes sometimes.
Yep.
And a 5-minute stop is enough to be able to load across.
All good. Like I said, once everything's across, Jason, assuming they can close the doors behind them as they get off out of the van, Jason will continue initially to just stay with the truck in the van, looking for opportunities of, hey, if there's another stop, like another traffic lights, then you'll take that opportunity to get out of the van and into the truck. Otherwise, you'll be ready to do the athletic leap from the driver's seat, having set the van to onto the grid.
I was going to say, is that an athletic?
And then jump across. So.
Well, I'm going to give him a driving test to see if he can set up a perfect spot again.
Yep.
Yep. I think actually he probably can't do it from a stop, potentially, simply because would the grid actually accept the vehicle suddenly appearing on the grid in the middle of the traffic lights?
Well, look at it this way. You could technically pull over on a bay beside it and then have the van run a little bit and then turn itself onto the grid.
Yeah,
Because
he'll certainly have to do it, but
automation on some of these things does have some smarts.
yeah, good to hear.
Otherwise, driveways wouldn't work for any vehicle.
No.
because the driveway is not not on the grid. It's only on the grid when it's on the roadway.
Yep.
So it will have the concept of pulling out of a slip lane onto the road and jumping onto the grid.
All good. Quickly had it on.
I have had lots of thoughts about how to run the grid properly. Okay, so those cancel out. Those cancel out.
I'm liking the way there's still some yellow dice there. So.
That cancels out.
I can't see the symbol, but if there's yellow dice, we're probably still okay.
So, you feel really good about things, so you're able to remove that one strain you got previously, but
That's not so good.
you don't actually find a spot where you can just pull up and jump in. So you're going to have to do it where there might be a few flags raised on your van while it's in motion.
Yeah, well, okay, certainly I'm happy to try and get across while it's in motion.
What is your
Basically-
what is your athletics or coordination, whichever you want to use?
I'll go coordination because that's 5 dice with 1 yellow. And so yeah, so the intent will be basically driving directly behind the truck, assuming the truck got its doors open still for me, and then basically as it's in there behind it, I will try and line it up to a good spot, activate the grid as I get out of the car, probably having to climb through the window, I'd expect. The grid probably wouldn't like you open doors while the car's moving.
Not unless you override your own computer.
Alright.
Not unless you override your own computer.
Yeah. Okay. At this stage, how hard can it really be to jump out of the driver's seat, through the window, up onto the roof, and into the back of the moving truck?
Well, you've done it before. We've got you on film.
Apparently, it might be
Well, that was
fairly
half the
difficult.
car.
Yeah, you're the stunt driver.
Yeah, the car. But I didn't actually jump out on that one because I actually drove the car in half. An open style.
So, there's going to be a slight problem with that one.
Uh-huh.
As you ended up with 2 advantages and a failure.
Okay.
So, which means as you go get ready to jump, the truck takes off and the van veers off in a different direction because it's gone back onto the grid.
Okay.
And you realise that you're no longer facing the truck as you're about to leap off.
Mm-hmm.
You're on your own, aren't you?
He is, yes.
Can I
Can someone like grab the back of his neck or something?
Yeah.
Well, he's on the van by he's on his own van by himself, while you guys are in the back of a truck.
Can we?
Oh, we're at that point. Sorry.
can I manage to stop my jump before I actually leap?
I did say that you did manage to stop before leaping because you noticed you're facing the wrong way, which is where your advantages came in.
Yep. Okay then. So the effect of the failure is that on that attempt, I didn't manage to get from the van to the truck.
Yes, you managed to stop yourself jumping.
I'm standing on top of the van,
Yeah.
but otherwise the truck and the van are now some distance apart.
Does anyone have a rope?
Would we have? We've got climbing gear.
You do.
Yep. So can I grab some climbing gear out?
You can grab some climbing gear and use it to toss a line to Desiree.
I've got a 3 agility.
We've actually
Will that
moved
help
off in
me?
different directions, haven't we?
It is starting to move off, so if someone acts quickly,
I've got
Okay, so
3
if they
agility,
can
will
quickly
that
up,
help me?
because the other alternative that I was looking at was, oh well, guess we're going to have to climb back into the vehicle, take back control of the van, and then try and catch up to the truck again and try again later down the transport.
Sorry.
But obviously, probably a harder step because there'll be less opportunities as we
That's
depending on
difficult
how
for you
long
to try
this is
to-
going to go for.
So,
Please tell me that. I'm not
SoCal
crazy.
throws a line in your direction and manages to get. Sorry, not SoCal.
Shadow.
Shadow Star throws a line in your direction and manages to get 2 successes and an advantage, and you've got a line that's rapidly going taut, connected to the back of the van. How does Desrin respond?
So, how much distance is there between me and the van at the moment?
It's currently 2 meters and going to start growing rapidly as your van's about to turn the other way into a street.
Okay, I will grab the rope, jump off the van, onto the roof of one of the other cars that's probably between me and the truck, and aim to basically flog her into the car.
Okay, so that's going to be an interesting turn of events there.
Yeah, yep.
As I add a little bit of challenge to that jump.
Well,
Go, gadget skates.
it was challenging,
So the red dice represents challenge.
I figured that it was already too far to actually try and leap from the van to the truck, and it's better to jump onto a vehicle moving rather than onto the static ground.
That is
Because the
true.
vehicle should be moving about the same pace as the truck. So,
Okay.
can I flip a token?
You could, but you did succeed.
Okay, but I hadn't seen what the dice were or anything like that when I was saying that. But
So
I
what?
thought, hang on, what are the mechanisms I can use to actually improve my chances? Oh yes,
Now the other question is, was anybody filming it?
Probably many cars were filming it with the in-dash cams. You know how they have that as one of those major voyeurism aspects? So there was a cam of someone seeing Desrin land on their hood and then leap forward into the back of a moving vehicle. I'm sure it looked amazing. As you also notice Desrin strike his head on the way in, taking 2 strain.
Okay. So cue the stormtrooper bomb.
Very much so.
And obviously, he's not dressed in stormtrooper white, he's dressed in ancient green.
Or because he was showboating and showing off that he didn't realise that he needed to duck when to get back in.
I would have thought the trucks had a high roof. It obviously what it really shows is just how high he leapt.
Yes.
So it's amazing what these cinematics do for people. And yes, you manage to get the door shut just before you come in line of sight of the cameras of Cavallard's external gate.
Okay.
Because the last thing you want to do is look as if something's out of the ordinary as you're coming in at night.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully, all the rest of the party, except the Shadow Star, we're not distracted too much by Jason's heroics, and they've started getting into the battles.
Yep, they have, and SoCal gives whoever's going to be the outside of the crates. So is Shadowstar expecting to be one of the people who goes in and supervises?
If it's already obvious to the guards that I'm there, I would suggest I've got no real choice.
Well, they want a smart person being there, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The other option would be, as I say, potentially Jason might be the one that knows how to like effectively going from the van into the truck driver's seat, but happy with Shadowstar taking that role.
Well, no one's supposed to be driving because it's all automated.
That's right, but sitting in the cabin.
Okay, so.
The idea is that the 3 people are all in the cabin because you wouldn't normally have people riding in the back of a van full of toxic waste.
That is, well, you'd have one person normally. So you got 2 in the cabin, 1 in the back, is how they normally run.
Okay.
And so the person in the back probably gets hazard pay.
Yep.
Or is a junior on the team.
junior on the team.
That's probably me because
all three of them are wearing hats.
Let's have Mr. Charisma being the junior on the team.
Well, I would probably say it would be Flogger being the one there, because otherwise Mr. Charisma won't be able to talk to the guards.
Fair enough.
So it's like,
no, that makes sense. Yep.
And SoCal does say before you open any of the crates, turn on the little drone you've got so the cameras don't watch us open the crates.
Yeah, we've got to run the drones first.
He does remind you to that before he's locked away, because he's said it about 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to get shot.
Yeah. No.
And for some reason he doesn't necessarily think that one's going to be tracking is enough.
drones.
And he says, if in doubt, look at your data pad. It's got the instructions on there too.
Yeah. Send the drones! Alrighty. You can talk up front then, Womp.
Okay, cool.
Okay, as Womp's doing the lounging out the driver's window, even though there's no steering wheel and just beeping lights on the panel in front of him, doesn't even give him a time frame of what's going on. Obviously, they trust their drivers greatly. It automatically pulls up at the gate, and the gates start opening. The guards don't even look in your direction. Apparently, Womp looks like he should be there.
No.
Yep. And obviously, Jason's van is continuing on the grid and he's taking up position, not actually directly outside the that escape route at the north, but
probably on the other side of the park to the north. So, if you needed to run through the forest, you can get to it.
Exactly.
You want to have your getaway vehicle as close as possible.
Yep.
Well, I've got my proper upbringing talent as well, so I can fit in.
Okay, next thing you know, you're trundling along the road, heading on the loop, the first bend to the left, taking you on a scenic drive through the woodlands, and then again to the left, and then turning off right before you reach the car park, so you reach the loading dock rather quickly. And your truck does this perfect 3-point turn to reverse into the loading dock.
Look, Ma, no heads.
Nice.
And you do notice the cameras don't even seem to move to follow you. You don't seem to be that unusual to the systems. And next thing you feel a shake of the elevator as the truck starts to descend in the elevator. It actually reversed all the way into the elevator.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's not necessarily bad.
Well, if you've got people who can deliver things like that, do you really want them loading and unloading into a actual elevator shaft? Or do you want them to drive out of the elevator shaft, then unload and drive back in again?
Yeah.
Certainly. Okay. Good to know. One less set of transfers need to be done. Obviously why they do it, if they want to reduce the transfers.
And they want to reduce the risk of contamination because the truck itself is hermetically sealed.
Yep.
Or at least it's supposed to be. For some reason it seems to be broken, but you're not you're sure that's part of SoCal not wanting to poison the entire team.
Fair enough to. Well, while Womp is potentially doing any interactions with the guards, I'm going to duck away for some moment. I'm back in a second.
All good. Okay, so that brings you to the ground. So that's you coming in at ground level at the elevator, and then you go all the way down to the bottom into room 11. You find the truck backs out into the area, and then you hear over the comms, it's safe to get out and unload.
Yep.
Ventilation's on and starts going through a whole list of checklists.
as per instructions. I make sure I get the drone out and make it go first.
Well, he says before you open the barrels.
Oh, right. Well,
You're not opening the barrels in the.
Oh,
you're taking them into the.
right.
You're supposed to take them into the storage room, so it looks like you're doing stuff.
I've just put it on the record there. I've got it up the front of my mind.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
open up the back and
you expected to take it into room 10.
oh, okay, so it's the one to the right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So
Is
what's
that-
the top room?
The top room, the E, that's the elevator.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So they basically seal the elevator before they do the unload,
Yep.
which does mean that if they have to set off their hazard alerts, they could vaporize everything in the room without damaging anything else in the complex.
Okay, so there's like flamethrowers not around, is there?
Very much so. It has a full decontamination capacity, able to destroy all biological specimens in that room.
Nice. Not.
It's why it was suggested don't drop a barrel.
Yep. Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm definitely not going to drop a barrel.
So how much do you expect Flogger not to drop a barrel?
I don't know.
As he likes to show off.
Flogger likes to.
I'm all. So, how does the doors open? The storage room.
The storage room is an airlock.
Yes.
So the A
is
to the
it
bottom
one where
of
you
it?
actually have to be right at the front, and it's only allowing one person in at a time.
Well, it would allow. It's a technically it's a 4 meter wide airlock, so you can have quite a few people go through at once.
Okay. I'm just more worried that Flogger will try to break down the door.
Well, as long as you make sure he's holding the barrels, he can't open the door.
I will supervise Flogger.
Keep his hands full. Yep. So keep his hands full.
Yep.
So yes, it only takes you about 10 minutes to unload. You're given a rough time frame of how long you should expect it to take.
Yeah.
And Shadowstar remembering to set the drone off in the room where you're dropping the barrels means that the cameras start fritzing while you're unloading. So you can start letting people out.
Yep.
Yep. So we're now in. We're in effectively the A underneath 13 on the.
So you're in. So on the lower level map, you're in room 10.
Okay. Yep.
So the biological material storage room.
Marvelous. Yep. And we want to get to room 18, don't we?
And you want to get to room 18, yes.
Okay.
So what was the because now they would expect us to leave, correct?
3 of us have to go.
Well, they expect the truck to leave, and if their cameras are fritzing, as long as they've got movement, they won't necessarily know how many are getting on the truck.
Oh, okay.
That's right, because in fact they saw 2 people in the cabin, possibly, depending on the tinting of the windows.
A troll and another.
Yeah, I think.
They didn't talk to anyone, like they didn't actually talk to anyone, did they?
They did not. And as long as a troll and another is in the cabin,
And since Flogger and Georgie aren't actually here, they'd be the good people to send up front.
that is correct.
Flogger can certainly guide the truck back out again, and in fact they're both good characters to actually leap out of the truck while it's moving back to its original location.
And they'll probably go get ice cream.
That is true, though. You actually think that they're going to have to go all the way there and then make their way back, because neither of them know how to hack the systems to not set off an alert on the truck.
What a shame.
So they're going to be stuck going all the way back to the facility.
It'll keep them busy. And I'm sure they'll find ice cream on their way back.
We'll make certain that Georgie has a hazmat suit, obviously, going all the way back, they should still have their hazmat suits when they get back to TCC.
Yep.
TTC.
And you're expected to move out of this room before they finish up, so you're not tripping the sensors of room 10
Exactly.
without them being there.
Did you say it was 18 that you go to?
It is room 18, yes, the computer center.
Yeah.
So you have the choice of going into room 5 or the corridor below.
Okay, so the airlock goes doing 10 and 5, yep.
Yep, there's an airlock between those two.
And I'm assuming that is there a door between 1 and that corridor down to 18?
There is a door between 1 and the corridor to 18.
Yeah. And
And everything below 1 is accessed from the corridor below 1.
yeah. And obviously 4, 7, 8 and 9 are all accessed from the corridor leading up to them. Basically, as soon as people are out and ready to go, we'll gather up gear and set the drone off down the corridor. What was 5 going to be in lab?
5 is the biological materials laboratory.
Yeah. I'm thinking we're better off going down the corridor and then through breakable facilities.
And biosensors, which SoCal points out the drones might not be able to override.
I'm thinking we're definitely going down the corridor because, like I say, less things to accidentally break.
Yeah, and considering the airlock's going to be used anyway, the fact that you can trigger a different door without them knowing by hacking into it.
Yep. Obviously there'll be SoCal Hall. We'll be setting up the airlock to be getting out down the corridor. As that's opened, we can set the drone off down the corridor to make sure that the cameras are done.
Yep.
And aim to move down the corridor, assuming that no one actually physically down here that will come across in that corridor, heading towards the next airlock.
Well, you're in the past the midnight shift, so you're in about 1 to 4 a.m. zone where no one's expected to be moving.
That's right. We're hoping no one can be down here, but hey, that was part of the plan. So obviously that's not going to hold true. So move down to the second airlock between 5 and 7, and.
So I'm going to see if everyone can make a stealth roll while you're doing it to see how stealthy you are.
Bolt's in trouble.
So
does Genesys have any group rolls or things like that?
It does, as long as you've got the talents.
You don't have talents for them. Okay. Don't think I do.
Let me have a look at what newly acquired magic you have.
Because I just got the bone wand today.
Where is Shadowstar?
We up to my magic rating.
Well, you did have stealth of 2.
Yes,
so
stealth of 2.
I don't believe you. Did you get illusion as your magic? Masking. Did you have masking down as your magic?
I don't have it written here. So
Then you can't use your magic to help.
Okay, it's worth asking.
But for you, if your thing is, that is your stealth score for you.
Yep.
Desmond's happy to go first and show them how it's done.
Okay, so as Desrin goes to go first, he doesn't notice Shadowstar already walked on ahead. As he turns around and see Shadowstar's at the other end of the room.
I rolled well, I presume.
Well, you ended up with 3 net successes and an advantage.
Wow, that sounds pretty cool.
So what is Desrin's stealth?
He's got 5 with 1 yellow.
And so Desrin ends up with 2 net successes and an advantage. He seems to not quite as stealthy as Shadowstar, but hey, you're both elves.
I was going to say, we're elves, right?
Well, the main reason that I wanted to go first was on the idea of expecting to end up with a few advantages that could then be blue dice to other people, but we didn't get enough. So.
Well, you got enough that you could add a blue dice each to the next person who goes. Would Bolt like to be the next person who goes?
I was going to say, I'm most concerned about Bolt, so if I do have any blue dice, I'd like to put something on Bolt.
So Bolt is fairly stealthy.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Is he?
He is.
Who's the least stealthiest then?
I would say...
I'm more worried about Womp and Hotel and...
Rakesh?
And Rakesh, yep. Okay,
well,
so...
I might save it for those people.
Okay, so... if you're more worried about them, you do notice that Bolt seems to bounce off the walls.
Oh, well, maybe.
And you hear a scraping sound, and next thing you know, she's holding up one of the drones. He's holding up one of the drones.
Can I use my agility?
One of the drones at the end where Declan and Shadowstar are, or at the other end?
Either end. Somewhere along the way, he managed to catch one of the drones.
Can I use my agility?
Put it down! Get off it!
Bolt lets it go. Unwillingly lets it go.
You see it bounce on the ground and just sparks coming up from it.
Oops.
Apparently it's not designed to be caught.
Declan will move back out and pick up that drone, smack Bolt around the back of the head.
So I believe you guys are right in that you probably both need to help Rakesh with his 1 dice.
Yeah.
Okay, I pick up Rakesh.
So I've got agility 1 and stealth 1.
So Bolt is picking up
You get
the
1
rest,
yellow, do you? Is that what you're saying?
He gets 1 yellow and that's all he gets.
but Ross
Okay,
is
well I've got 3 green.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if they give him 2 blue,
You
he...
carry me.
Okay.
Bolt could have helped if he didn't, run ahead, because, people forgot to remind him to not run ahead and not fetch.
Okay, so that means you give your 2 blue to Womp with his 3 dice.
I could always throw the dwarf.
Yeah. We don't have any dwarves.
That is Rakesh.
Oh.
And you ended up with 2 advantages and a success, so you do manage to sneak quietly down the hallway carrying a dwarf.
Woohoo!
And that leaves you Sokel. I'm not sure if he has any stealth whatsoever.
I'm expecting he's probably going to have 2 green dice.
He has 1 dice.
Is he boosted at the moment?
Yeah, he's
2
still
dice.
boosted.
2 dice, yes. And he succeeds.
I was going to say, it probably gets an extra penalty after watching an idiot breaking one of his drones.
Well,
He wants to go whack Bolt and you want as well.
you expect he's going to make Bolt pay for a new one.
It'll come out of an ice cream fund.
Okay, so you reach the inner door, the inner airlock.
Is Socal able to activate it okay?
He's plugging into it with his lock breaking kit.
Yep.
The idea is to try not to trip the alarms while he's doing it.
Happy with that.
And if he takes his time and he's not rushing, he can get through their security.
Declan's happy to be watching some of the techniques that you use.
I'm happy to keep watch as well.
Not that he's actually got any skill called. Actually, no, except to use skullduggery, wouldn't it?
It is skullduggery, and it's also computers. So it's skullduggery to break it without using tools or computers who use tools.
Yeah.
And
I do have one in skullduggery. I don't know if that helps.
well, you could do it instead of him.
No. I just want to keep watching.
I'm assuming he'd probably try to do it by computer more than tools, if you know.
He is trying to do it via computers. He's actually looking for his little Trojan horses he installed during the week.
Happy with that.
Because you can actually break in and do that sort of stuff.
Yep. That's the advantage of planning ahead.
Which means it also erases the logs of what he's doing.
Yep.
All this sounds good.
So we're all anxiously waiting at the door of the airlock when it suddenly opens.
And it suddenly
Keep
opens.
an eye on Bolt to
Right.
make sure he stays put.
And as the door starts to open, you see SoCal quickly stop it as you hear the sound of a major flush and someone shutting a lavatory door.
Where the closest lavatory is?
Number 3.
Number 3, yeah. Okay, that was basically he was opening the door to number 3 and then closed it again?
Well, he was opening
the corridor.
from the airlock between 5 and 7.
Yeah, but like which door was he opening? The one that led out into number 1?
The one that led into number 1.
Right, okay, yeah, so we definitely want that one closed again.
Well, he didn't want to keep it moving, but he wanted to be able to see what was happening on the other side.
Yep.
As you see a security guard walking back into the main area of 1.
We can see him, but he can't see us.
Know where he's likely to go.
You can see him, and he's not looking for you.
Okay.
So Ariadne was asking, we can see him, but he can't see us. And I told her he wasn't looking for you guys at this stage.
We're looking at him through a crack in the doorway type stuff.
You are?
Which means that he could see us if he looked, but he's not looking in that direction. I'm assuming he's heading towards room 13.
That's what you'd expect. And I will give one of you a perception roll. Who wants to make up the perception roll?
What skills are
Don't I have a particular perception?
Most of you do have, but who's the one at the door staring through, trying to see things?
What does
Probably Jeremy or...
Well, I would imagine if he's a Jason or so.
Presence, I believe, or cunning.
presence? I've only got 2 cunning. I've only got
Cunning, it's cunning.
Oh yeah, I've got 4 cunning.
Yeah, well in that case, I dare say it's Rakesh.
So the least stealthy of you all is doing the watching.
Well, it makes sense. If you're not stealthy, you want to know what's going on.
Hey, it always comes in handy. Okay, so Rakesh, you do notice the security guard walking away seems to have some sort of smear on his left side, and you end up getting your head caught in the doorway, taking 2 strain.
Okay.
As some hair gets pulled out as the door reached its maximum open time and shut on you.
Okay. All right. I don't mind that.
Did he know what the smear on the side was? Is the idea that he didn't wipe properly after going to the toilet? Or...
Hard to tell. He didn't get much of a look before the door shut. He just noticed there was something odd.
To be honest, we really want to know.
Okay.
And so how far was the guard down the corridor by the time the door shut?
He was about halfway down the corridor to the atrium area.
Okay, so... well... I guess to say tell, but give it a couple minutes before we try to open the door again. He hasn't got any way of actually accessing the cameras, has he?
He can, but he doesn't recommend using them because every camera that's useful to us is on the fritz within range. That's part of what the drones are doing, taking the cameras offline.
But I would have thought that are the cameras like in the atrium area already on the fritz? No chance to send a drone down there yet?
They are if they're within range, and as soon as a drone enters that area, the entire corridor goes on the fritz.
Okay, happy with that?
But it does go through walls as well.
Yep.
As radio waves.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I say. Again, the expert's got no necessary knowledge of what the range of these drones are. As a player, I have no idea what the range of them are going to be. So.
He says through a shut wall will probably go about 10 meters, but if it's in a closed room, it will cover the entire room.
So like you'll get some bounce back and reflection and things. So yeah, cool. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll give it a couple of minutes to allow the guard to get back, hopefully, to the security centre. Rather than going on a patrol, going through, so that's cool. And then we'll attempt to open the door again to the airlock and see what we can see before moving forward.
Okay.
Allowing the drone to go forward, reminding Bolt to don't touch anything.
I'll just have also a
Well,
gentle
kind of looks sad,
but firm
but
hand
nods his face.
Okay.
And I say to Bolt, don't worry, after this we can get ice cream.
Yeah, Bolt's not the biggest ice cream fanatic. He likes it, but she's not as big a fanatic as Georgie, Womp, and Flogger.
Okay, after this, I'll
Shadow
get a
Star,
drone and
you don't
chase
reward
it with
bad
your eye.
behaviour.
I'll even stick lights on it.
No, Bolt will have artificial ice cream.
Either way, don't reward bad behaviour.
Okay, so you sneak along into the atrium, and you can see mirrored glass on the 12 and 13 fronts. So basically, people might be able to see out, but you can't see in.
Right, yes.
So you
I'm
can
assuming
you can get into 12 from 1 at the corridor. There are doors there.
yeah. I'm assuming there was no, on the map, there's no way to go from 4 to 14, is there?
There is not, no. Well, actually, let's see. What's in 14? 14. No, you wouldn't have that. You wouldn't have that. No.
So I guess you probably don't have a back door.
No, he wouldn't want a back door to that place.
Not to the technician's lounge. Now we need Bolt to get through to 18. We need Socal to get through to 18. What do people think of how probably will you to try and get past 12 and 13 if they've got two-way mirrors on the externals and we don't know how many people are actually in them? Oh, hang on, sorry, 12 is the general staff lounge. Sorry.
Yep, 12 is the general staff lounge. You're most likely able to sneak into it before you go around the corner.
Okay, so yes, there's actually an entrance on the horizontal and vertical walls, not just the diagonal wall.
Yep, because you would expect people to get to the general staff lounge fairly easily without having to go through the security doors.
Yep, and they don't necessarily go to the atrium in that sense as well, because they can go from the people in 15, 16, 17, 18 will potentially want to go to the staff lounge without having to go into the atrium. So.
Yep, so there'll be a secure door on the other side into the corridor below 1. But
yep.
the one on the beside one near the airlock would most likely not be a secure door. It would just be a standard opening door.
Certainly, if there is a door to 12 in the horizontal area of the corridor before we actually get into the one octagon, and we'll certainly aim to take that if we can. And if we have to go, if there's not one there, we'll have a look around the edge of that angled type, the diagonal wall, to see if there's an entrance that we might be able to sneak through without getting too beyond the disc of 13. But hopefully, it'll be on the horizontal wall.
So on the horizontal wall, you do find a door. It's got a window into the staff lounge.
Marvellous. Is it occupied at the moment? It'll be. I would think that Desmond or Shadowstar are the appropriate ones to actually sneak up to that door to actually look in.
Having a quick look in there, you can see what appears to be tables, vending machines, and what appears to be 2 big display cases.
It's like a common room.
It is a general staff lounge, though a common room.
Can we see another door out into the corridor to lead to 18?
You do see another door there, but it seems to have a palm print access.
Okay. So, yeah, what's the mechanism on the door that we're at right now?
A handle.
Does it look like something that Desmond can actually just open?
It does.
Just SoCal.
It doesn't seem to have any electronics on this side.
Okay, well, Desmond will give it a bit of a test to see if he can open the door.
Door opens easily.
Okay. He'll immediately signal the rest of them to come from the airlock and staying up against the wall, so therefore they're not going to be seen by 13. And
Still up, I'll keep an eye
I'm into 12.
Okay, so the group of you sneak into 12. Upon sneaking in there, you do notice that in the display cases appears to be various forms of bolt.
Ooh. That is bold.
Don't touch.
But my brothers and sisters, they say out loud.
They look stuffed.
These are statues, I tell Bolt. These are statues, people who remember you fondly, trying to replicate how you look in statue form. They're not real, they're statues.
Bolt is suspiciously that, like, I can smell the difference between real and fake.
As soon as everyone's into 12, Desmond's going to be calling back the drone from the atrium to bring it in, and encouraging SoCal to start looking at the other door, see if we can get through.
SoCal says this is where we need Bolt.
Okay, so his handprint signature?
It's a genetic scanner.
Yep. And then he'll find, I don't know about the other video, but yeah, SoCal will find a look at the other display cases and confirm, have a look at, so are they alive or are they...
They all look taxidermied.
Right, yeah. So in that case then, if Bulk's still commenting on them or complaining, it'll say, well, yeah, nothing we can do for them, and if you keep doing the wrong things, you're probably going to end up like them.
Bolt sighs and goes over to the little scanner thing.
Yes, this panel you can touch.
Kitty Cat was making the digging motion on the couch to poop on it, so I went, I'd better go get him quickly.
I don't think it was a window on the door leading into the corridor.
There is a window leading into the door, and you can actually see a window under the security door on the other side of the corridor.
Okay. Before Bulk's going to go up and touch the door then, X-Men will have a sneaky look down through the window and across to the security guards to see if there's anyone in there.
You can see about 3 security guards in there, and they all resemble Bolt.
After Bolt's actions with the drone, Jason's privately thinking, yeah, they might resemble Bolt, but obviously they're much more intelligent than how to use a flashing phone.
but they seem to be just staring ahead and not really moving.
Okay. And obviously, none of them are actually looking through the window of the security door into the corridor.
They don't appear to be, no.
Oh, we should have brought a tennis ball.
Well, apparently we did. It's in the shape of the globe. Yep, okay, so in that case then, if it looks like the way's clear, we'll get, so Bolt can open the door.
Is Bolt happy to open the door?
He looks sad because of all his taxidermy brothers and sisters, or what he thinks are his brothers and sisters anyway, and opens the door from the panel.
Okay, as the door opens, you'll see across the corridor more of your brothers and sisters in the security office.
Like alive ones?
Well, they're not moving, but hey, they're wearing uniforms this time instead of just in their furs.
Hey, mate. It's a Bolt uprising. They're going to try to take over the world.
Desmond will be aiming to guide Bolt down the corridor quietly down to 18. We'll come back. Gotta finish the job. It's on.
Okay, so walking down the corridor, you pass the security office, and the next door along on that side has a heavy-duty door with what appears to be a keypad, eye scanner, and handprint.
Yep.
That's number 15.
But we're aiming to sneak past all those things and keep heading down towards 18.
Okay, you have no problems getting down to 18.
So Desmond was trying to escort Bolt down there, distract her from doing other things. Are others coming down, particularly SoCal?
He is coming down because he knows this is where your secure node is supposed to be.
That's right. So, is anyone staying in 12 at the present time? Basically monitoring the security center?
Did we need to be sneaky around anywhere else, or just...
Well, we want to be sneaking the entire way if we can.
Yeah, but I'm just...
I mean, if things go right in room 18, we're sneaking our way back out to the corridor, out past like number 2 type stuff. So,
Okay, so you'll be coming past here. Yep, okay, I'll keep
just,
an eye on
to
this.
come back this way.
You eventually intend to most likely sneak out through number 2. Because that is the quickest way out.
And obviously it'll be the so the intent will be to come back by 12, and so yes, whilst it wasn't planned as such when we got to this point, hopefully, yeah, I would certainly not recommend that not everyone needs to get down to 18. And I think that Rakesh is probably also someone that's worth staying in 12 because he's got the better perception, watching what security staff might do.
Sure.
Okay. So while you're there watching, everyone else is heading down towards 18. And
I think is Bob also staying at 12?
Yeah.
One point Rakesh at 12 and Hotel, Bolt, Shadowstar and Eggman will be down towards 18. On the idea that they're the sneaky ones plus the ones and all the vital ones.
Okay, so SoCal plugs into the system there, and he says when he tells Bolt to, Bolt needs to touch the handprint.
Wait for it.
I'm like, now? Is it now? Is it now? Is it yet? Can I do it yet?
He sighs a lot while you're doing that.
Declan's holding your hand and saying, how you win? Hold it, hold it, hold it.
He holds up his hand and goes, now. And then you hear the 3 big bolts click as the server room opens like a vault door.
Ooh, shiny.
And there's a rush of air going into the server room.
Okay.
And you hear SoCal going, that wasn't on the blueprints.
Like a vault door, you mean?
A vacuum sealed server room.
Right, okay. You got a problem?
As long as you keep the door open, no.
Okay.
May trip a few alarms, though. We'll try to be quick.
Okay, well, Declan will certainly stay near the door, and give a moment for SoCal just to check the inside to see if there's a panel that means the door does need to stay open, or whether we might be able to open it from the inside if we allow the door to close.
He looks on the inside, yet that there's no access points on the inside.
Okay.
And also, there seems to be a body on the inside as well.
A what?
Body.
Oh, what?
Body. Another bolt?
No, it appears to be some sort of human.
We may or may not have been the first people that tried this.
Well, he did remind you that the Fujitsu team were also attempting get the information at the same time you guys were.
So they've been following the patterns.
There were certainly openings available, so... does it look like, is there any obvious evidence as to why it's a body and not a person?
It looks like, he says with a quick look, it looks like he ran out of oxygen.
Okay. Don't get locked in. So Declan will definitely stay by the door then, aiming to put a foot in the doorway as needed, and or war. But he's basically walking up the corridor with his pistols out, ready to shoot if something's coming down the corridor from the security centre.
We may need to take this body out to avoid them noticing that something's gone wrong.
Well, go get the data, make sure the data's still there, and we'll deal with the body when we're on our way out.
It says worst case, get it to room 6 where it can be destroyed, but you might trip sensors in room 5.
Will Bolt trigger sensors?
Possibly yes, because it's a bio scanner in room 5, detecting biological life.
Well, Bolt's happy to. Got a pretty decent strength as well, I think. So I'm happy to carry it out a little.
Well, for the time being, I think if Bolt still needed to actually access stuff in the server room.
It says no, should be fine for the moment as SoCal starts looking for the IDs of all the computers in here to find which one to plug into.
Okay. Well, recommend then that Bolt and Shadowstar start trying to get the body back up to at least room 12. Okay. Staying as quiet as you can, obviously. While SoCal works on getting the data, and Declan's going to stay in the doorway to ensure that it doesn't close.
Okay. So,
You guys happy with that plan?
SoCal's happy. He moves into the room and continues trying to figure out which server to plug into.
Yep.
Then start setting up his gear so he can hack it without plugging into the network. It says worst case he sets off an alarm on the system itself. It won't notify anyone because it's not connected.
Okay.
Or it fries him, one of the two, he says.
I'm happy for you to explain as you go, but I'm also not if it's going to actually interfere with your work.
Yeah, just make sure the door stays open, he says.
I can stay on door duty if you like.
Certainly, if anything happens to the door, you're not going to be the only one stuck. You probably die of oxygen deprivation, because I'm sure the parts of the body will actually hold the door open for you.
Okay, so it takes him about 2 minutes to get through his run on the computers.
Okay, while he's doing that then, Declan's going to be having a quick check through his big pack of gear and things like that, and looking for a nice, the 2050 version of a 10-foot one. 10-foot pole.
Well, some of you have climbing equipment.
He's happy for only about 5 feet.
Well, some of you have climbing equipment, which would come with arm pittons.
Yeah. I prefer something like a 5 foot.
A non-metallic one.
Yeah.
Oh, not non-metallic. It's more the idea that if it's a piton, then that's more likely to actually cause obvious damage to the door, whereas something that's just stopping it closing, like without necessarily having been banged into the base of the door, something like that. But obviously, pitons can be the alternate. Particularly if they use more like the doorstop type effect of just allowing the angle so therefore it can't actually close without you don't actually hammer it into the ground.
But that was the idea, was to have it in the hinge so the hinge won't move.
Yep. Oh, sorry, I was picturing a sliding door. Yes, okay. Yep.
As a bolt door that opened and didn't slide.
Yep. Yep, you described it as opening, but for some reason I had sliding door in my head and I was picturing the idea of, trying to stop between it, but yep.
Oh, the frog on her door.
You can call multiple times. Don't worry.
And Flogger's stuck in the truck, which he can't open the door in.
Flogger's not there, is he?
And he's got Georgie keeping him company to make sure he doesn't break the door.
We gave Flogger a very important job.
Yes, he's got a lot of stuff to do. His phone has got full of messages for jobs.
He has lots of jobs.
He's the base of the operation.
Yeah, of course Florida has lots of jobs.
So from Plugger's perspective, he's got lots of people wanting him to do things for them.
And he's clicked yes more.
Technically, he has a new career if he wants it.
And they'll pay him money for it too.
To be honest, Flogger's fat fingers probably would have definitely hit the reply all or yes all button.
It is a troll phone.
Yeah, but Flogger can't read, he'll just go, yes.
Yes to all. But if you can't read, how do you know?
Okay, so do Shadowstar and Bolt have any issues getting the body down at least to room 12 while Sotel gets into the system?
No, they seem to be able to carry it down quite well, though they do notice that there is a strange stain on the side of the guy's uniform.
This is security guard.
Oh, sorry, so he's got a security guard closet. He was in a security guard uniform, was he?
Mm-hmm.
I try to avoid the stained bit as much as I can.
Well, when they get back to room 12, Rakesh might notice whether or not it's the same style of stain that was spotted on the first guy.
There seems to be a burn mark in the side of the uniform.
Can I investigate that a bit?
So, is it a match?
It's similar.
So we're not talking about
It's not the same guy you saw.
Right.
Can I investigate that, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
Only if you want to walk up and check it.
She was carrying the
I'm
body.
carrying the body.
Right, yeah. Okay. The four of you all now in room 12 with the body, so you can certainly you've got time to have a bit of a look over.
That looks like a taser burn.
Okay, so we don't know who taser burned him, and this doesn't
we
simulate.
They're probably out of sheer boredom.
We know that
You have a look. He's got no. The body has no marks on it.
But there's a taser burn on his
Uniform. Yeah.
Okay, and we saw a similar mark on one of the other security guards. Did I get any insight into that, or?
You did get told that the Fujitsu team were also trying to get the same information you were.
Oh, okay, so this could indeed be the Fujitsu team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure, which may also explain why you're having so few guards in your way.
I see, because we're both making a run at the same time.
and also, yeah.
Well, definitely get rid of the body as soon as we can. So why are we getting rid of this particular body? Did we accidentally kill
Because
this guy?
if a body is found, you lose your bonus pay
Yeah.
whether or not you did it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was doing cat duties.
All good.
And
If they
convincing-
know that someone's been here and they've been compromised,
And I
then
gather there's
we're not quite as
incinerator
good as well.
Well, the idea is to there's not an incinerator in room 12. Room 12 is the staff room.
Oh, okay.
So you're trying to take the body away with you,
Right.
so it's not left behind.
I see.
A missing guard is a lot less problematic than a dead unknown stranger.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Or a dead guard.
What's up?
That
So
too.
I'm just gonna go check his little.
I'm thinking that, yes, ideally, we'll carry him out of the building rather than trying to use the incinerator. But we'll see how it goes when we're getting out of here from after SoCal got the data.
All good. So after the 2 minutes have passed, you see SoCal unplug and saying seems to be all there. With as instructions, he hasn't deleted anything or modified any of the files, but he has removed the failed attempt for the other guy to break in, as well as his own attempt.
Nice work.
He says, "Well, that's why you have him along.
Yeah.
He's not here. He's not here for his dashing looks." He says
All the
with
best.
with the cracked smile and the pimply face.
And he says, as he marks it.
Hey. He's got a great face for hacking.
That he does.
And yeah, as soon as he's coming out there, Jackson will aim to remove the pigeon and allow the door to close.
So as the pigeons come out, you see the door start to close almost automatically. So I will give you a acrobatics to get out of the way of the door and not get trapped inside.
Okay. Our coordination is 5 dice with 1 yellow.
Sometimes things can just go wrong. Okay,
Absolutely.
you have no problems ducking out of the way. And you don't even drop the pigeon.
Obviously not.
Hey, it could have had a complication.
Yeah. And he'll even quickly realise that, hang on, there was a pack of smokes that the guard had left behind. You'll get that on the way out too.
You do grab the guy's kit on the way out, which SoCal had missed. So you end up with a swag over your shoulder, and then as the door shuts, you hear the sound of the fans kicking off, sucking the air out of the server room.
Okay.
Hey, it does help with overheating and a lot of other things if it's in a vacuum.
Yeah, okay. No conductive heat.
And no dust because it's a vacuum.
And then SoCal and I will definitely move to room 12.
Okay, so yes, moving quietly to room 12, you notice that the guards in room 13 have not moved
At all?
at all.
I suspect they might be dead.
Oh, they don't seem to be dead. They seem to be breathing.
And where am I at the moment?
How many guards were in room 13?
You could see 3. None of them were the guy you saw moving in the corridor.
Okay. Declan will take an action peek through the window of 13 and like stealthily to see if he can see anything happening that would indicate why the guards are not moving at all. There's like spirals on the monitors. They've all hypnotised.
Well,
Hypnotoad.
looking at them, they just seem to be staring ahead as if mesmerised by something.
Okay.
Well, you have heard of magic stuff that can mess with people's heads.
Yep. Probably more vision than response on the monitors.
What was that, Ross?
Hypnotoad. I'm happy to
Hypnosis.
take advantage of the guards apparently being hypnotised, for want of a better word.
Well, you expect that the one who was wandering around was using magic to maintain the hypnosis while their hacker was busy hacking into the server.
Oh, I see.
And that they thought they could do it with a small team.
Well, you know, got a slightly bigger team.
Well, they didn't have on the blueprints anywhere that the server room was a vacuum seal.
Oh, I see. So that's got them into trouble.
Well, once the door shut and there were no buttons on the inside to get out.
Yeah. So what we're saying is the fact that yes, the other team, the Fuji team, whoever was it, Fuji?
Fuji team, yep.
Mikama? Yeah, Fuji.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
The dead body that we've got in room 12 with us at the moment is probably the decker from the Fuji team. It's not a guard.
Yeah.
They've just dressed up in guard
Yeah.
uniforms as part of their entrance.
Which would explain the taser burns on the uniform but not the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so therefore his accomplice, who we saw coming out of the laboratory, admittedly, who doesn't go before they go on the run, but
Well, if he's waiting and all he has to do is sustain a spell, he may as well go.
he's potentially still out and about. So,
You can imagine he'd probably been waiting for an hour or two for the other guy to finish up in the server room.
because he's had time to die of asphyxiation.
Yeah.
Can we see?
It took some time, like 5 minutes.
What was that, Em?
It took our hacker SoCal like 5 minutes.
It did. It took him 5 minutes to hack.
It's actually pretty good hacker.
And
And someone to keep the door open.
Well, the hacker has also been buffed as well.
But the mirrors into in the room 1, which we assumed were a double-sided mirror from room 12. Did it turn out they are in fact double-sided mirrors? Can we see into room 1 from where we are?
you can see into room 1 from 12 and 13.
Yep. Okay. In the time that we've been in here, have any of the guys noticed the other guard in quotes from the likely drinking member team wandering around the area of room 1?
Well, I'd say yes. They seem to see him looking into rooms 19, 20, and 21.
Okay. So now we've got a decision. Do we try to take out a Fuji member in order to ensure that they get out without being spotted or noticed? Or do we just try and walk away with what we've got? And rely on them either getting out themselves, having given up on their partner, or getting caught and ruining our bonus.
I don't want to ruin our bonus.
the other thing is, them getting caught, would it actually ruin our bonus due to the fact that
Would it be blamed
it
on
really
them?
wasn't us?
Yeah.
But the point being the fact that for our bonus, they've got to believe that their site was still completely secure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
You can potentially
And-
contact the other guard and say, you've got 5 minutes to get out before we alert security that you're there. So Cal suggests that, whereas
Yeah.
I think Womp would know that if you take the other guy out, everyone who he's mesmerized would suddenly come alert
Yep.
and potentially
and-
see you.
yeah.
We don't want security to actually find the other guy anyway, if we can avoid it. Because even if they capture the other guy, they might think, oh yes, well, at least our site is still secure, no one escaped, until they actually ask the guy, hey, did you have any accomplices? And he says, oh yeah, I had a friend, and that friend has disappeared, therefore someone escaped. So Bob's suggesting that the other guy's maintaining a spell on the guard.
Yeah, he is. He's basically doing what I'm doing on myself and the hacker.
So if the other guy was made unconscious,
They will become active and they'll try to freak out on something weird's just happened to them.
Yeah.
Especially if they see you on monitors where they hadn't noticed you beforehand.
Better to alert him that the game's up and he should get himself out.
Well, no, he's got a package to take with him.
The dead guard we've got.
Is it the guard or the his
accomplice.
Yeah, accomplice.
We believe it's his accomplice.
I don't know that we want to trust him getting rid of his own dead accomplice with our bonus, if that makes sense.
Do we know exactly what Fuji's goals might be in this situation?
Most likely the same data you were getting.
With the same belief of trying to do it without being noticed?
Quite possibly.
Like,
Well,
and,
magic does give you many other options for breaking into things.
yes. And our what's what you call contract or like the employment offer type stuff. Mr. Johnson wanted us to get the data.
Yep.
It's very likely that Mr. Johnson does not want other people to have the data. But if it turned out that someone else had the data and hey, we didn't know about that,
I thought one of the things that they actually wanted us to get it before
Before Fuji.
Fuji.
okay, so they knew that Fuji was also after it.
They gave. They had given you info that Fuji were also asking about.
Right, okay.
What I
Okay,
think-
this is where I wasn't involved in the initial conversation, so I wasn't supposed to.
What I think. Oh, sorry.
Because yeah, I'm just thinking that an option would be to effectively bribe the other one to, hey, it's time for everyone to leave.
Yeah.
We'll share the data on the way out, or hey, here's a chip with the data on it.
We could say that, but not actually give it to him. We just want to get him out so that our bonus doesn't get done. So, you know, we can tell him what he likes. The fact is that he's not going to get the data. His accomplice has gone missing.
Well,
So-
he probably knows who his accomplice is because we're going to be carrying him out, apparently.
Yeah.
If we're going to be talking to him, he might see his accomplice.
I say we try and take him with us, persuade him to come with us quietly, and, you know, even if that means lying about giving him some data.
So Cal recommends using a drone and not actually seeing the person.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Because
One working.
do you really want to have a corporate Shadowrunner knowing what you look like and that you beat them to the data?
Yeah.
If they start building a profile on you, then they'll come after you. You're only a Shadowrunner while you're useful, he says. And you're not useful if the other team knows all about you.
So the other guy is actually just wandering around the various corridors and atrium room 1, isn't he?
He is. He seems to be going into looking into the rooms of 19, 20, and 21, and possibly going to go around the corner soon.
Is he actually going into the rooms or just looking through windows?
Looking through the windows, doesn't seem to be touching much.
Because the other option would be to effectively try and escape across the atrium, get into the corridor leading up to room 2, and getting out that way, and then sending back the drone with a message to him saying, "You want to be out of there now, your job's up, done." And we don't offer him anything, but it'll be his interest then to escape.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that something along those lines is definitely the best go.
Okay, so in that case then, we will try and find an opportunity to get across from room 12, across into the, I'm assuming it's an emergency exit or something down that corridor into room 2?
It's basically a passageway that goes to the stairwell. So room 2 is the complex's stairwell, emergency stairwell.
Okay. Does it look like there's an alarm system on the door that leads to room 2? Like is an alarm activated for the emergency door?
Looking at it, no, it just seems to have a camera.
Okay.
So as long as you're using your drone, you're safe.
Yep. So in that case then, we'll basically watch Mr. Fuji, and as soon as he's out of sight, we will be having the drone out there to ensure the cameras are done, and then aim to quickly scurry across to the room 2 corridor.
Okay, once you're through, you see SoCal quickly type a message on his pad for his drone to deliver.
Yep. Well, I'm assuming we want the drone still with us at the moment, because I'm guessing there's probably still there's still cameras in the stairway.
There is. You've got 3 or 4 drones. He's going to use one of the remaining 3 to send a message to the guy.
Oh, so I thought we only had 2 total, so one now. So.
He carried 2 himself, and he gave one to 2 people. So he had one backup just in case.
He just knew Paul couldn't help himself.
There is a reason why he's the smart one on the team.
Even though coming out of my paycheck eventually to get him a new one. I fetched
He played fetch with the drone that was keeping their cameras offline.
I understand that it doesn't make any difference, but yeah, the intent of getting across from that, across room 1 would have been that Genesys and Shadowstar and is there one other stealthy character? I can't remember there.
Rakesh.
Basically,
Rakesh is...
we'd go last of the idea that if it came back around the corridor after it suddenly, everyone's most likely able to get across without being seen.
And that little circle at the top of room 1 is an elevator that goes up to the reception on the upper floor. And that's basically your exit plan C.
Yeah.
Is walk out the front door.
But, yes, that was... At this stage, if we can get to room 2, then that's certainly the best option.
Okay, so you have no problems getting to room 2. SoCal says message delivered and drone's on its way back.
Are we going to wait a little bit longer for the message? Yep.
Well, he wanted the door to be left open so he could get the drone, so the drone's not left behind, which then leave evidence to you guys.
Yeah, we need to retrieve all of our stuff.
Okay, yep, happy with that.
And potentially, if we were to leave the drone in there, the accomplice could get it and figure out who we are, maybe, or at least figure out
I was thinking of it being effectively a burner drone. You allow the guy to take it with him, but I'm happy to
destroy it for 10 minutes or something.
This message will self-destruct.
Well, a destroyed drone would also mean infiltration.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you've been trying to go as far as possible not to show any evidence of people being there. And he left the doors that you're going through with a 10-minute sensor shutdown, so the guy can go out the same way.
Yeah.
Or follow whatever plan he had of getting out himself.
Okay.
I obviously had some plan that was controlling the guards anyway, but he had control to actually cameras, different question.
So SoCal did say he left a map for the guy to get out following timing, so basically you guys can, everyone can get out without seeing any more guards.
Yep. Where we got SoCal on our side.
That's a good thing.
Well, he spent a lot of time researching the system and their blueprints.
Which is why we were more prepared.
It almost went to plan.
Yeah. I don't know, we haven't left the building yet. Like,
That's true. So, but yeah, so we'll go up the stairs and presumably quickly heading down that narrow corridor between 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 on
to the emergency
ground
exit. So you head north because that's the only way out without passing any more cameras. Besides the exit to the actual complex also has a camera and a sensor, but your drones will deal with that.
those drones are very handy.
Well, once you found out that there was a frequency that would disrupt the cameras, that's where your legwork made the run so much easier. Otherwise, he would then have to stay behind and scrub a lot of the footage and find another way out where he was on camera. So your legwork made the run a lot easier than it could have been.
Yeah, we did do a lot of legwork on this one.
Look out time, planned it well. Or at least SoCal did.
Yeah, we also got a heap of gear last time, and we spent about several sessions now grabbing maps and things.
And you had contingency plans which may happen still. So as you open the door to the exit area, you hear the sounds of barking in the distance.
Oh.
Okay.
Does Mr. Perception pick up what's going on?
Alright, go on.
I was saying, does Rakesh pick up what's going on, considering he's got such a keen perception?
I don't know.
Well, I'm wondering, were we aware that they had guard dogs patrolling the woods area?
I don't remember mention of them, but
They will
maybe.
Actually understand what they're saying.
There was no mention of it.
Does Bolt respond in any particular manner because of the barking? Do you speak canine?
Okay. There's all certain saying, don't yell out, Bolt, don't bark. But do you
Release the hounds!
I reflexively, if possible, try to put a very gentle but firm hand over Bolt, just in case Bolt decides to woo.
And the other question is, okay, so if we've come out at D, effectively, how much, what distance are we looking to cover to get out of the ground to Cavallard?
You're looking at probably going maybe a kilometre through the woods to the north.
Okay.
So around that lake, and then
It's not a lake. The black is all mountain.
Mountain, yeah.
okay.
It's a mountain
Come out on
peak.
the other side of the
It's
mountain from the building.
It is an original map.
But yeah, so
The Shadowrun people.
Yes, I'm suggesting, let's get moving, let's go, because presumably the dogs are going to be based more around the other side of the hill, the mountain, rather than in this particular area.
Bolt does recognise this space, so this is where Bolt remembers seeing the sky for the first time.
You found your home.
Sort of. Well, that's
Oh,
what
because
my
last
brother
time-
this is.
But
But
do
they
you,
were not. Some of them were alive and some of them weren't. That's fine.
but from your memory, do you perhaps know the most direct route out of here?
Probably the way we're going.
Yeah.
North, go.
Yeah.
Well, it was a while ago that you broke out of here, so you don't quite remember what was going on. So yes, you start dashing through the woods.
I was gonna say, Martin looks like he's going for dice, so...
Does that mean Bolt can finally be speedy?
Bolt can be as speedy as she wants, yeah?
So someone did say go, go, go.
Yeah.
Well, Bolt's probably, like, back of the car already.
Okay, so Bolt goes
Have we got anything that could leave a false trail or like a effectively skink bomb type effect that could
What do I mean? You got true blanks.
lay the
True blanks mean
dog
nothing.
off the scent?
And the two successes that cancel out by the two failures, and the two threats have one advantage, so it ended up being a total of one threat on the dice roll.
Okay.
So yes, you reach the fence to the north, and you see there's a van sitting there with Flogger sitting beside it with the door partly ripped off.
Yeah. Flogger's got the back of the door going, off you come, shaking the whole van, off.
That's probably enough.
You know whose van that is, don't you?
Flogger only one here.
And that's when you see behind you on the other side of a fence the rest of your friends.
Hey guys, I found it.
Nice work. Jump fence, get in van.
How much difficult are people going to have to go for the fence?
Well, you do have a troll who's as tall as the fence.
So
So they can lift us over.
Well, we've got a troll on each side.
So technically you can walk troll to troll and go over the fence quite easily.
Yep.
Nice.
I'd like to say as an elf I do that rather nimbly.
Well, in that case then, just like have difficulty getting over the fence.
Well, considering there is Flogger on the other side to help, I don't think Womp really does have any trouble.
Well, I do have athletics and it's strength 5.
I'm happy with that. That's cool.
Between the two trolls, they could easily swing the other one over the top of the fence. That's assuming that Womp trusts Flogger at that much.
Flogger does like to throw things though.
I don't accept it. Like I say, assuming the fence is going to be strong enough to hold the troll's weight.
It would not be strong enough to hold the troll's weight.
No, probably not.
Oh, okay. So we're not talking a particularly good security fence here. We're talking.
How do we get the troll over?
Easily swinging with the other troll because they are both strong and both athletic.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
So once everyone else is over, and I'm a particularly ungainly badger like.
You're already over.
Well, yeah.
Just depends on if Flogger can catch.
You up and then just dropped you over the other side.
Okay.
I would have thought it was.
Flogger will more likely return serve and play a tennis match with our party.
Yeah, no. Wait, I will dodge Flogger if he tries to tennis me back.
No, we're playing catch with the dwarf.
Yeah. Good old fashioned game of dwarf tossing. Yeah.
Jack will nimbly leap over the wall and then smack Flogger, saying, "Stop it! We're not out of here yet. We've got to get home."
No, it's volleyball.
No ice cream for you, probably is said by SoCal if you don't get in the van now.
Alright, everyone gets serious and gets in the van.
Yeah.
Though Desrin does notice one of his doors is broken thanks to Flogger.
At least we got a bonus that you can pay to have it fixed.
Oh, no, it's not. Flogger will hold the door in place from the inside.
And Flogger got a bonus that he can, or Flogger got part of his bonus that can pay for the door.
Yeah.
Do you take care of
Not yet. I don't have a drink.
It's door number 7. Only 35 more to go.
Okay, so yes, you end up back at Maria's place pretty quickly.
And Jacob will have a bit of a word to Georgie, so why the hell did you let him go off by himself?
Georgie is like, who? As he's eating a bowl of ice cream. Georgie didn't even seem to notice it was happening.
How did Floppy get there then?
Magic.
Apparently.
Well, you told everyone where to go to meet up. And most likely Flogger was there at the time.
Flogger walked.
All good.
He may have even taken a taxi there. Or take a taxi to the secret rendezvous.
Do you know where secret rendezvous
I
is,
lifted up
taxi
the back
driver?
of the van so it didn't take off.
Okay, so we'll get back to Maria's place.
You're back to Maria's place. You have successfully done the run because nothing bad actually happened on your run, and you did stop the other runners from getting the information.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, do we want to dump the body somewhere, or we check to see if there's anything on the body?
Besides the toolkit you grabbed on the way out with the extra gear, the body didn't have much on it.
Okay. And
There's not really anything for cybernetics, is there? They're superstitious, aren't they?
Most of he does have a few obvious data jacks and chip jacks, but beyond that, nothing obvious.
anyway, we can take it down like a nigger.
Can my Ripper Doc make use of it?
I was going to say, what about, is it Ebenezer?
Yeah, Ebenezer.
And Mr. Blood.
Yeah, maybe Mr. Blood.
Considering Mr. Blood did give you intel that helped you get in and out pretty easily.
Yeah.
Because his intel was about the frequency to fritz the cameras.
Yep. So,
I mean, and like, I'd suggest, yeah, like, we have the contacts that can eliminate a body, whatever they want to do with it, type stuff.
well, there might be skeletal parts in it.
Without necessarily talking to ghouls.
So, are we going to meet
Yeah.
up with Eva then?
I recommend doing that next session because I am running out of steam at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
happy with that?
you did successfully manage to get through it, and so you'll be looking at a decent payday because there's no proof you were there.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
See, Bolt was good puppy.
Yeah, except the drones coming out of your pay.
Bolt was sort of mostly good puppy.
And it turns out that most of the security guards at Cavallard are brothers of Bolt.
Jason will even actually give Bolt a pat and saying, well done, mainly on the fact that he didn't distract, or he managed to keep away from trying to get all the other guards and or staff at the Cavallard. So.
Well, you do have an idea why they have such guards there, because they probably grew them.
Yeah, that's right.
It was most likely in their research labs, which you didn't quite look into. Maybe another time.
Hey, well, we know they've got no reason to change all the security access points and things like that. 'Cause, hey, we were perfect.
That's true.
This
But
time.
we worked hard for it.
They will be suspicious of the missing guards or the lost time.
Okay, because as far as we're aware, no guards are actually missing, assuming that the one we took away was actually part of the footy team, which I'm assuming when we open up his gear bag, think, yep, that's not standard guard issue.
It was all hacking stuff for computers.
Yeah.
Which
So
we'll keep
SoCal
hold of that
could
for
probably
SoCal.
help.
What was that?
We'd keep hold of that for
Yep.
SoCal, wouldn't we?
You would. So yes, you have completed that, and next session you get to talk to your Johnson, as well as figure out what Marie Mercurial has in her head.
Yeah.
Yep. Start buttering her up. Yeah, we want to get inside you.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think we may want to use different phrasing.
We're gonna plug into you.
Yeah.
Plug you sounds even worse though.
Yeah.
We want to get in your pants. I mean your head.
Well, you know, we want to get into your head is probably a line she hasn't heard before, as opposed to we want to get into your pants. So, you know, we could get an angle.
You could. And that means that next session you might complete 3 out of 4 of your runs.
Yeah, no, that'd be good because we've got quite a few going.
And that just leaves the one that Wump's destined to betray you all with.
Oh, that doesn't
Oh,
sound
really?
so much fun.
I don't know. Have we actually done much on that one yet?
No. That was the hardest of the 4 runs.
Yeah, okay. So that's one we can walk away from.
I guess that's why we've left it till last.
Well, it gave you the clearance of all the other stuff, so you weren't going to be then held up by
Well,
phone
once-
calls or chasing.
Going to betray us all, then
Or chased down by Yakuza.
Yeah, because Yakuza might have caused complications. This one you were undercover the entire way, as was Maria's and the Chips.
Yeah.
So,
Okay then, well,
So is Flogger actually going to listen to his messages?
Are you going to write some for Flogger to listen to?
I'm sure Ross can.
I'd be very interested in hearing those messages.
well, I will catch you guys till next time.
Yeah.
Okay, so see you on Friday, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Everybody playing? Yep.
Okay.
And can you add me to the Dungeons and Dragons list?
Yep, I have already done so.
Machine.
Thank
Okay,
you.
no worries.
Okay, so have a good night, everyone,
Oh, cool.
Catch you later. Thank you very much.
and I'll see you later.
Yep.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, hitting button. It is that.
Please